Ready? Namaskar guys, welcome to Utkarsh RS English medium channel. As you know that you are required that Utkarsh platform will provide a certain specific channel for English medium students. So on this channel today I am starting a first session. In this session we will discuss about the Rajasthan Geography physical aspect. So it is a win-win situation for those who are really very reluctant situation and in a dilemma situation, specifically that from where they will get the best material, from where they will get, on which they will rely on specifically for the RPSC examination. Okay, so in this channel we will discuss about that all these aspects, and not only my subject, the expert panel group will discuss you about the each and every aspect is related to this examination. Welcome Sakshi ji, thank you coming on the time. Thank you, very good evening. And today we'll discuss about, in this actually we have just launched a new batch type on YouTube channel, and the name of the batch is Victory Batch. The meaning of this Victory Batch is that through this channel a series of topics related to the subject specifically mentioned in the syllabus have been covered out in this channel, and with this approach student or aspirant will get the idea what the RPSC is required for this particular examination. RS is not too much or mugging up of the factual knowledge based examination. Actually it is a examination in which some factual knowledge and the analytical approach have been asked by the RPSC. They required such a decision making persons so that they can rely on in your future. Means a person who can make a decision and who have been aware about the general going on, which not only in the state, also in the nation or in the world order. Okay, so that's why we have just planned a new channel on which we will discuss about all these aspects, what the actual need of RPSC specifically for the aspirant. So we have to deliver all these things. Okay, one by one we will discuss about all the topic which have been mentioned in your syllabus, and as in a geography faculty member I have to teach you, describe you about the various aspects related to the Rajasthan geography. And I think you have may know about that what are the major topics in the Rajasthan geography. So today, just as a glimpse, I will describe you about the some specific aspect which have been mentioned in our syllabus. Okay, so first of all, as you know that you have already seen the thumbnail that today we will discuss about the physical features of Rajasthan. But first of all, it's my moral duty to describe about the what it is really acquiring or what is really asked by examination through this exam from the aspirant. Okay, so you have to be listen it carefully, and if you are willingly to write it all my points, so you have to write it, because I'll describe all the section one by one, and might be I will describe it on the panel. Some what is written in, I will written it in or bullet manner, so it will be helpful for those students who are making a notes by side, so they can make a notes through watching this. Okay, so first of all I will really very thankful for Nirmal sir and Akshay and all the teams who have bought this channel, है So really it's a pleasure for me, and it's a really very thumbs up and win-win situation for the aspirants. So first of all I will also requested all the students, so please please share this channel, like it, subscribe it, and if you have a doubt, not only on particular topic, you have to comment it after the class, so we will read out it and we will definitely sort out it in the upcoming videos. Okay, so first of all in today's session I'll describe you and I'll tell you about what is the actual demand of RPSC in this examination specifically for the Rajasthan geography. Okay, now as I mentioned it on the board that we will discuss about the Rajasthan geography. Rajasthan geography. So what is Rajasthan geography and what comes in your minds? the first picture come in our mind about Rajasthan is geography. Rajasthan is the largest, vastest state of our country. Okay, you know that the area of Rajasthan is maximum in our country, and it accounted around 10.41% of total land area of our country. But the most important aspect is that why we have to study this state, and what is the requirement and what is the need, why examiner asks you to study about the geographical features available in the state. So this is the basic question it rises in your mind, that why we study Rajasthan geography. So I'll just describe you about the basic concept why we have to study about this subject. Okay, so first of all I'll take a map of blank map of Rajasthan. Through this blank map we will understand it as a citizen, as a member of this state, what we have or what we should have to know about our state. Okay, so first thing is that this is our state Rajasthan. So as a aspirant, as a RPSC going aspirant, what should we know about this state? We have to learn about that, some basic aspect about it. So what is the basic aspect we have to know about it? The basic aspect is that as an aspirant you should know about that the composition or the formation of the state, how this was formed. So the formation of the state, it's an important one, not only in terms of politically, but in terms of geologically or in terms of physiographically, how this land mass have been evolved. This is the major point and this is the main aspect about this land mass. Okay, so first thing is how this was formed. So when we say how this was formed, so in technical terminology or in geographical terminology we say about that the physical features or the physiography of the landmass we have to be study about. So there is a aspect in our syllabus which says about the physiography. So physiography means we have to know about that as in a citizen, as in a member or as in a responsible person of this state, we have to know that how this was formed. As you know that there is a land mass in the middle of Aravalli which we known as a Aravalli. There is a section which we call Haduti or the south eastern plateau region, and there is a section in the western part of Rajasthan which we called it desert region, or in eastern part of Rajasthan we studied about the eastern plain of Rajasthan. So there are various features available in our state. So first thing is that why we have to discuss all these things, because as in a citizen, as in a aspirant or as in an administrative officer, you should know about that what is the terrain or what is the topographical aspect available in our state. So this is the first thing. That's why the examiner mentioned in syllabus about a word, and the word says about physiography. Physiography not only says that the relief feature available in our state, but it also says that we have to study about the development in various time period, means we have to study about the geological aspect of our state or the relief features in his state. What it means? It means is that as a decision making person, as an administrative officer, you should know about that what is the topographical, what is the land formation, because if you are residing in a plain area, so you have to plan for the plain area, and if you are residing in a hill area, so your plan is according to the hill area. So actually if you are going to make a plan as an administrative officer, so you should know about the topographical aspect of that particular state. That's why firstly in Rajasthan geography examiner asks about the physiographical features of the state. Okay, now the second aspect what says that if you studied the physiographical aspect, then we will have to study about the resources, and the first important and the vital resources is water. That's why in our syllabus we also have seen water resources in a form of rivers and lakes. means the availability of water, because in every aspect, specifically in economical activities like in agriculture or in industrial activities, we need water. For daily routine lives in a rural area or in a urban center, we also require water. So this is important one. And as you know that our situation is in a tropical high pressure zone and we have a scarcity of rainfall. That's why we have not enough much of water, specifically in a form of surface water. And we also rely on a groundwater. That's why there is a depletion in groundwater. And we also studied about the dark zone area. Even in the last 2022 and 23 financial economic survey, they have mentioned about it. There are 302 blocks, and out of it 290 blocks are in danger zone, means in a dark zone. So that's why we have to study about it, the water resources in our state also. And as a desert area, it is also very important. That's why there is a specific certain mentioning our syllabus about the traditional water conservation in our state. During medieval or during ancient time, there have been lots of traditional water conservation methods we have been adopted, not only by the rulers or the princely personals, but also by the traders group. They have been developed Nadi, Taka, Toba, Khadin, various kind of traditional water conservation. So all these also mentioned in our syllabus that if we are not properly manage it, the water resources available on the earth surface, then it will be very difficult for us in a upcoming future. So that's why, is there any possibility to conserve these bodies and these all kind of traditional water conservation? So that's why examiners asked you about in our syllabus that we have not only study about the rivers and the lake, but we also study about the traditional water conservation in our state. Okay, so just think about it as an administrative officer. Firstly, you should know about your state. What is your state? How it looks like? You have to familiar about the topographical aspect, means the mountain, plateau and the plain section which have been available in our state. Okay, the second aspect is that we have to know about the natural resources, or in natural resources, firstly we have to know about that the water availability in our state in a form of rivers and lakes. But side by side, our syllabus also says that we have to study about the traditional water conservation in our state. Okay, next aspect, what as an administrative officer should know about in our state. The aspect says that we have to know about the climatic condition in our state also, means we have to know about the precipitation, temperature, pressure conditions and various seasons available in our state. Because climate doesn't say that you have to know about the temperature or pressure. It actually depicts that, it also described that how economic activities in our state will grow up and what kind of economic activities will have to, will be thrived if we actually planned it for a upcoming future. Like if we have tropical climate, if we have temperate climate, so it means that there is a high temperature and there is a low temperature in a particular period of a year. Okay, so at that time you have to plan it certain agriculture crops, or you have to plan some tourism activities related to their particular climatic conditions. So all these things, it is important also, not says that it describe about the various facts, but it says that as an administrative officer, if you know the actual climatic condition of that particular region, so it will be helpful for your planning, specifically for future aspect. Okay, because ultimately going to be an administrative officer says that you have to plan for that particular region. That's why they ask about here the climatic condition in our state. Okay, another aspect which examiner also asked you about that particular area is that the availability of vegetation. Availability of vegetation, it also comes in natural resources. And why they ask you about the availability of vegetation? Because it is also important in terms of economic activities, even it is also important in terms of ecosystem, biodiversity also. That's why if you heard about it and just go through the syllabus and you just pointed out at this vegetation, there is another aspect also associated with this section is wildlife and biodiversity. So definitely without wildlife and biodiversity and wildlife, we haven't studied about the vegetation. Vegetation means the plants, shrubs, grassland available in Rajasthan. They also helpful in the maintaining the climatic conditions, but it is also helpful to describe about the rich natural resources availability in our state. That's why we have to study about the vegetations and wildlife. Even we have to study about the ecosystem. Instead of ecosystem, I write it biodiversity. Okay. Then apart from this vegetational aspect, a person specifically going to be an RS officer should or must be know about the soil availability in the state, because without this soil you haven't cultivate agriculture. Agriculture practice is totally dependent on the soil, and as you know that the western part of Rajasthan is sandy in nature. Apart from eastern section, eastern have some alluvial tracts and some red soils and some loamy soil. Even in Hadoti region we have a vast amount of black soil in a form of ragur, which we also called it the verti soil. Okay, so these kind of soil also describe the diversity in agriculture practices, and it also helpful in a planning process, because it will provide a potential for a administrative officer that if such kind of soil is available in our state, so what kind of economic activities or what some more kind of agriculture practice in a form of intensive agriculture or in form of horticulture, which we will work on. So that's why we have to study about the soil aspect in our state also. Overall, in nutshell, we can say that as an administrative officer, if you are residing or you are going to be an administrative officer of a particular state, you firstly should know about that the land mass means the physical features. You should know about that the water availability in form of rivers, lakes, and some traditional water conservation also. Even also black cotton soil, bilkul Sakshi, definitely you are saying right, you are getting my point. If you are comfortable with my language and you are getting my point, you can thumbs up it and you can write it and you can comment it. If you like that, if I will speak in Hindi and describe it or dictate in English, then I will do it my on that way. Okay, जैसा आप कहोगे वैसे मैं क्या है बताओ, ठीक है. Okay, if you are comfortable with this language, if you are getting my point, if you are understanding that why we are going to study all these aspects in Rajasthan, first of all, as an administrative officer, a person should know about the physiographical, river, climatic, vegetation and soil. So what is the purpose to study all these things is that you have to know about that your state also, because without knowing your state you will not rule the state, you will not make a plan. Okay, now thank you Sakshi. Okay, the next aspect is that if you know about the physical features, you know about the physical aspect of our state, then the second aspect, the next aspect came in our mind is that if we study all the physical section which is available naturally in our state, then we will go the next aspect, and the next aspect said that we have to discuss about the demography. Demography means population. Demography means the attributes or the significant aspect of the populations or the census, means we have to study about the aspect related to the persons. How many persons are living in the state, where they are living means the density, they are educated or not educated means the literacy rate, their sex ratio, and some other aspect like the tribal population. The next aspect says that about demography is that the aspect which is important to know about the people, to know about the masses which are residing in our state. The objective behind this examination is that you firstly know about the physical aspect of the state, and then you should also know about the person who are living in this state. Those who are living in the state, in which condition they are living. Just think about it as an administrative. Right now you are an administrative officer, and as you know that there is a total population of 6 crore and 86 lakhs in state, but most of them are in which age group they are living? They are in adulthood, or they are in an old age stage. So ultimately you have to work for it. So that's why they ask you about the demographical section, because you have to work on this state on basis of the population which have been residing in our state. That's why examiner asks you about the some basic characteristics of our population, means the distribution of the population, the density of the population, the population growth rate of population. Why they ask you about the population growth rate? Because if you are growing, or you are just outnumbering it in a very quantum way, so it will be very dangerous situation for us in a upcoming future, how we can manage all this vast number of people. That's why we have to study about the demographical aspect. Okay, demographic transition is used to predict the future population. That's why, yes Sakshi, you are absolutely right. So first of all, if you know about the demographic transition, can you tell me who describe this demographic transition theory? Can you mention me the name of the person who propounded this theory, demographic transition? Okay, can you know it? And those who are listening me, can you describe me who propounded, who postulated this demographic transition theory? Can you describe it? Demographic transition theory. Definitely Sakshi described that demographic transition is used to predict the future population. Even not only future population, they describe the future population tentative tendencies also, in which direction population is going on. Okay, now I will help you about that. The demographic transition theory propounded by the Thomson and Notestein, and through this theory he described about various phases land mass or country should go in. Yeah, bilkul, Thomson and Notestein. Tina ji, definitely Thomas and Notestein. Okay, bilkul. Okay, now another aspect says that if you learn about the physical aspect available in the state, and you also know about the population aspect in our state. Now another aspect says that examiner asks you about that, you should know about the economic activities what is going in our state also, because the person you have learned about it. Even in this discussing of this demography, we also study the scheduled tribe population in our state also. Why we study about the scheduled tribe, and why RPSC mentioned it in our syllabus? Because this group of people is aloof from the mainstream of life. They are residing in a hilly area, they are residing in a some section which is segregated, or some section which is separated from the mainstream, means they are living in a isolated life. They are not part of the mainstream, and as a part of a isolated life, if they are not in a mainstream, that's mean it creates some differences with the other people, and it might be possible in near future, in upcoming future, there is a possibility of crashes also. So to just avoid these clashes, because as an administrative officer you never thought about any kind of clashes or any kind of riot or some turmoil or any kind of disturbances in our state also. That's why we have to studies about the such elements in which we can seeking, or we are thoughting that it might be possible there is a some classes also. So that's why we have to studies about. And why we should about the study about the scheduled tribe in our state also? Because if we study about the living life of Bhil, Garasia, Meena, Damor and any some more tribal communities, so just knowing about their cultural or their lifestyle, it might be possible if we are planning some plan, and this plan or any kind of incentive, if we are planning for a scheduled tribe and they are not matching to the living standard of their life, so it will create a havoc, or it create a some kind of disturbances. So to avoid these disturbances, to avoid this unsmoothness of lifestyle, we have to study about the tribal community. And what we study about the tribal community? We study the cultural aspect, we have to study the economical aspect, we have to study about the social lifestyle of the tribal communities, so that to just avoid the clashes from the mainstream persons to the tribal community person. That's why we have to study about it. This is a smart work have been done by the RPSC to just frame or just mentioned the syllabus in our RAS examination, specifically for the Rajasthan Geography syllabus, because Rajasthan Geography typically or perfectly describe the administrative attributed syllabus. Because if you are an administrative officer in that particular state, so firstly you have to know about your homeland, you have to know about the mountains, you have to know about the topographical aspect, whether it is plain or in nature or in a plateau in nature. The second aspect, you have to know about the natural resources like the water, specifically in the form of rivers and lakes and the traditional waters. Even we have to know about that what the climatic conditions, vegetational aspect and the wildlife rich biodiversity in our state. Even we have to know about the natural aspect of soil category also, soil profile available in the state. So all these things describe about the naturally endowed section which have been available in our state. Next aspect in our syllabus says that if we know about the physical aspect, naturally endowed section, we also have to study about the persons who are living in the state. They are male, they are female, they are living in a rural area, they are living in a urban center. What is the sex ratio? What is the literacy ratio? If the literacy rate is low, so it means that they will not understand your purpose or your plan. So that's why we have to uplift their literacy rate also. Okay. And another aspect says in our syllabus says that the person living in the state, they are also indulge in economic activities. So indulge in economic activities meant some persons are indulge in agriculture, some are in industries, they are indulge in industry activities. Okay, so we have to study about the agriculture perspective also. Why we have to study about the agriculture perspective also? Because in agriculture perspective we have to learn about that how they have been relying on these particular economic activities, how their daily wages and how their daily earning process is going on. If most of the people, the vast number of people are engaged in the primary activities, primary economic activities like in agriculture, animal husbandries and all these kind of stuffs, so we have to plan for it. If they are earning lesser in amount, and you know that there is a rate of inflation rate going on, and the items which have been available in a goods form, they are dearer in a upcoming future. So inflation affected the poor person so badly that you cannot imagine that it will hamper the administrative setup also. Even the government will also changes if the most of the people are not benefited from a certain programs or certain schemes also. Okay, mining activities, बिल्कुल साक्षी जी आप सही कह रहे हैं, mining, they are also mining activities. Okay, and mining is a core section and they provide as a resource section for industry setup also. And I also comes on it. So some are belong to, some are indulge in a primary activities in form of agriculture, and some are indulge in a secondary form of economic activities like in industries also. So we have to learn about that important industries in Rajasthan also. And as you know that industries, most of them, they rely on the natural minerals. So that's why examiner also mentioned it another word in our syllabus about the minerals availability in our Rajasthan. Okay, in even you know that in Rajasthan, as a Arauli rich region or specifically in the western part of Rajasthan, there is a remains of Tethys. So there is a abundance of minerals in our Rajasthan. Even some says that Rajasthan is called a hermans of minerals. Okay, so as per economic survey of 2022-23, there are 81 kind of minerals available in our state, and out of 58 have been exploring for it. Okay, so on the basis of minerals, it also included the petroleum, gas, uranium, iron, even semi-precious stones like garnet, diamond also available in our state also. So it is literally says that if we just sell it the available minerals in our state, we also earn so much amount of money so that we can fulfill the demand of our state persons. Even minerals also provided as a raw material for industries also. That's why examiner mentioned this topic in our syllabus. But minerals, industries and agriculture, they also required energy, power. And you know that sources of power literally means traditional or non-traditional, means conventional or non-conventional. Conventional means we rely on thermal energy, hydro energy and nuclear, and there is a scarcity of water in Rajasthan, so hydropower is limited one, and thermal means we have to rely on coal based industries, coal based electricity production, and coal is hampering the environmental also. So we just switched towards this conventional to the non-conventional section, and non-conventional section means say that solar energy and wind energy and biomass, and we have a huge amount of vast amount of solar energy production. We have a potential of more than produce 127 gigawatt singly by the wind energy. So that's why examiner also mentioned it, the potential or the availability of power generation in our state also. So there is a clear mention of conventional and non-conventional energy sources in our syllabus also. Okay, so I also mention it power generation in our state, because without power we cannot run the agriculture or primary activities, secondary activities or any kind of other economic activities. Okay, then another aspect says that there is a potential of tourism in Rajasthan also, because we have a rich tradition. We have a rich tradition which we have a historical monuments, specifically in a form of forts, and we have a natural, cultural, religious, then some fairs also have been organized annually. Even I think not a single month in our state will go in which we haven't found any fair or any festival. So that's why Rajasthan have also a big potential in a tourism sector. That's why examiner also described this topic in our syllabus also. Which one? The tourism and their related circuit. Okay, then this is the glimpse of syllabus. I haven't mentioned you in a sheet manner that what is the topic mentioned in our syllabus. I am just giving you a familiar aspect, and I am just trying to make you feel as a friendly nature with this syllabus also, and just thought about as an administrative officer. If you are an SDM or ADM, or if you are a secretary in a particular department, or you are a RS officer, and even I also pray that you will become an IS also. So just think about it, you are an administrative person. So as an administrative person, firstly you should know about the homeland. भाई अपना घर कैसा होता है, we should know about it. And as to know about our homeland, we have to learn about the physical aspect. We have to learn about the availability of natural resources in our state in a form of water, specifically in a river and lake also. Then we have to study about the climatic condition, vegetations and the soil condition. Okay, then if we learn about the physical aspect, we also know about the person who are residing or dwelling in our state, because you have to rule on the person also. So we have to know about the significant characteristics of our demography, through which we can make a plan also. That's why the population of the demographical section included in our syllabus. Firstly, we know about the homeland, the landmass, our home. Our home means our state. And the second aspect is that the person who are living this home, we have to know about that person. And we also know that some group, they are not part of mainstream. That's why we have a syllabus of topic of scheduled tribes in our state. So we have to learn about the scheduled tribes, because if they are aloof from our mainstream society, then it will create a havoc and it will create a distress in upcoming future, because sometime the clashes of ideas and ideology will definitely arise in a upcoming future. Okay, and the third aspect of syllabus says that the economic activities, the natural aspect, persons, and the person indulges in various activities. So the person indulges in a primary activities, agriculture, agro-based industries, even the irrigations projects also mentioned in our syllabus, and it says that without irrigation you cannot practice agriculture. So that's why agriculture crops and agriculture based or agriculture associated aspect of irrigation is also mentioned in our syllabus. Okay, but some person, they are not indulged in primary activities, they are indulged in secondary activities, means industries. So there is another subsection of industries also, means there are small industries, cottage industries, there are major industries, medium size of industries. So we have to study all these things, because ultimately we have to govern up the persons who have been residing in our state also. And then some for the require, and you know that for industries purpose we required raw material, and raw material came from mining. And for industries and agriculture or any kind of economic activities, we also need electricity, power generation. That's why examiner mentioned it, conventional and non-conventional energy sources in Rajasthan, because the conventional energy sources is not reliable. In upcoming future it will have to be replaced by the non-conventional sources, specifically by the solar and the wind, and we have a huge potential. Even you know about it, Rajasthan is the #1 producer in a solar energy in our country. Okay, सर मैं हिंदी मीडियम से हूँ, इंग्लिश समझ तो आती है लेकिन बोलने में दिक्कत आती है. ओके, इट्स ओके, है ना. दिस चैनल इज स्पेसिफिकली फॉर दोज पर्सन. इवन जीएसपी क्लासेस, आपका अगर नाम ओरिजिनल बताओगे तो मुझे अच्छा लगेगा. और मैं तो बस आपसे ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि इफ़ यू आर कंफर्टेबल विद माई word delivering, if you are comfortable what I am saying about that, so I will continue it. If you are not comfortable in it, so I'll speak in Hindi also, and I'll speak in Hindi and then I'll mention it in English, some technical words in English also. But I think the language which I have been delivering right now, it's not so much hard or it's not so much diluted that you will not understand it. You will definitely understand it. Okay, then Shivani ji, okay ji, Shivani ji, then definitely if you are reluctant, though it doesn't matter, it will take some time and you just make some good friends in which you will discuss some topic also, and you have to just memorize it, some points on that particular topic, and then you will discuss it. Even you can discuss the syllabus of this RS also, specifically of Rajasthan Geography. What is the purpose of this syllabus? I am just trying to just describe you about that. The syllabus, it's not a bunch of facts. Syllabus says that as in a reliable aspirant, a reliable aspirant means you are the true aspirant who are going to be an administrative officer, should know about our homeland and the person who are living in it and what they are doing. This is the syllabus of our RS Rajasthan Geography. Okay, it is not tough one. It only says that what you are understanding about the state. It only says that you are truly a real aspirant for this examination. Some say that the particular topic have been mentioned and you have to just go about it and you have to mug about the various facts about it. No, it's not a mugging about it and just grasping all the facts. It says that you have to know about the real characteristics of our state. As an administrative officer, you should know about your homeland, the person who have been residing in it, and what they have been doing. Okay, for their smoothly doing, and in future no any kind of distress or any kind of hurdles or problem will arise it. That's why we have to study all these things. Because just think about it, we are discussing about the power section, okay, and as you not know that the fossil fuel based, coal based power generation is the major one. Most of the power generation came from the coal based industries, and you know that the availability of coal is very limited. So in upcoming future it will be very difficult for us to generate a power, and if we are not switching it from coal thermal based power to the nuclear or any another kind of non-conventional energy, so it will be very difficult for us in upcoming future, because the upcoming future demand more electricity in agriculture sector or in industry sector also. So that's why we have to study about the what's going on right now and what will be going in a upcoming future. So syllabus not only says that what is your, you know about the state, syllabus says that you have a eye on that particular aspect, that it will be hampered in a upcoming future. Okay, then thank you Utkarsh class, it's dream coming true. It will be working hard to achieve success. Yeah, definitely you will do it. As you know that in last yesterday's section we have even I have mentioned some words also, that and the tough gets going, the toughest gets going, means if a person who are residing in Rajasthan and he or she is from English medium, so Utkarsh classes is trying to give our best for that student also, because the ideology of our Nirmal sir is that if a person who is thought about to become an RS, and if he is from poor background, if he is from Hindi background, if he is from English background, so as in a holistic approach we will provide all these aspects. I am comfortable in Hindi language also, I am comfortable in English language also. Even I have appeared the RS examination in 2012 as an English medium aspirant, and at that time you just think about that, what is the availability of the resources, English medium resources at that time? No, never. Even in 2018 topper Miss Mukta ji, she is from English medium background, and how just think about the hardness, how just the think about the dedication she has just shown in that examination. She got the first rank, and just lots of example have been came out, and you will definitely work on it, and you will definitely achieve it, and you will come up with the flying colors, because we will definitely try our best to convince you and then just deliver you the best study material on this platform. Not only from YouTube channel, there is a courses going on in our institutions also in a form of foundation courses. You can avail it from foundation courses for a regular basis. Regular classes will going on from classroom, recorded session, live session or recorded session. You will definitely do it. And but I also ask you, and I also humbly requested you, if you have any suggestions, to just please mention it in a comment section also after the class, and we will definitely work on it. And but foremost thing is that if you want, we will do more and more on this channel, so please like it and share, subscribe it, specifically share it those friends who are also a English medium student or who is willingly to do it in a proper way. Okay, so first thing, or just I have just mentioned about the syllabus aspect. I think you just get the glimpse of this syllabus, what actually RPSC is seeking from you as an aspirant, what you should know about your state also. So three aspects you should know about your state. First of all, the physical, the naturally available things in our state on which we have to work on it, and the person or the demographical aspect which is available on our state, and what they are doing, in which activities they have been indulged. So we have to study about the agriculture aspect, industrial aspect, the power sector, the minerals, because without minerals most of the industries will be shut down if the minerals availability is not available in our state. Even we have to study about the tourism sector also. Okay, but important aspect, there is some lacking section in our syllabus also, like there is a lacking of transportation. ओके आरपीएससी ने करा तो सही, सिलेबस बहुत अच्छा बनाया, बट कुछ जगह गड़बड़ कर दी. जैसे उनको ट्रांसपोर्टेशन भी डालना चाहिए था, तो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन डाल दे तो काम हो जाता, बट है ट्रांसपोर्टेशन वो इकोनॉमिकल एस्पेक्ट में, राजस्थान इकोनॉमी के अंदर उसको क्या कर रखा है, इंडल्ज कर रखा है. ठीक है, तो आई थिंक यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड इट अबाउट दैट, व्हाट इज द स्कीम आरपीएससी इज ट्राइंग टू गेट इट फ्रॉम द एस्पिरेंट फॉर्म की एस्पिरेंट्स को क्या करना चाहिए, एस्पिरेंट्स को ये एस्पेक्ट को क्या करना चाहिए, जानना चाहिए. ओके, नाउ first thing in this section, the first aspect is says that the physiography. Physiography means the simple aspect which says in our thumbnail, the physical region of Rajasthan. So in today's session, as you know that our session will last up to 10 p.m. So it is a quite a long time. So I'll try my best to describe about the various aspect associated with physical. So right now, as an aspirant, you will write about the important points which have been mentioned in the upcoming session. Okay, so first thing we will discover about the physical features. Says that what is physical? Physiography. What physiography says? Physiography says that the land mass in which we have been residing is known as Rajasthan. Okay, so in which state we have been residing? We have been residing in a Rajasthan. Okay, and Rajasthan, in which we the state in which we have been residing, is a part of our country, India. So Rajasthan is a part of our country. Just I am describing about the what is the meaning of physiography. Okay, and I'll mention it on panel also, so you will write it also. Okay, just think about it and first of all listen about it. What is the exact meaning of physiography says? Physiography says that right now we are in a state of Rajasthan. Okay, so what physiography says that? Physiography says that as a part of this state is also a part of a larger section, larger part of the landmass, and the landmass is a larger form is known as India. Okay, so as a part of India, in Rajasthan we also study about, or we also heard about that Aravalli and then Haduti region. Okay, southeastern plateau region. There is a section of desert in the western part of Rajasthan, and there is a plain region in eastern part of Rajasthan. Even you may heard about it. There are 4 physiographical regions in our state, namely western sandy, western arid zone, or Aravalli section, eastern plain, or the Haduti region. Okay. Now the first thing, the first aspect says that what we should know about all these things, and what exactly we have to know about all these aspects. The first and important aspect is that as an administrative officer, how they have been evolved, in which time period they have been evolved, and what was the process actually for their evolution. So all these questions will sort out it, and all these questions will be answered in a just simple word, and the just simple word says that firstly we have to study about the physiography in a form of geology. In a form of geology. Geology means we have to understand about the structural aspect of our state. Structural aspect means the formation, the evolution, how our land mass was evolved, and what was the actual process in which period of time this land mass was evolved. As you know that right now we are part of our Indian subcontinent, and we are as a part, some part of Rajasthan is associated with Indian peninsula, and some part of Rajasthan is associated with the northern plain of Rajasthan. But right now we are seeing it in a Indian subcontinent. Okay, but just think about it, around 60 to 70 million year back, we are not at that position which we are right now. What it means, you are just thinking about it. What sir actually you are saying that? It means that actually we are right now in which place, in that place is not the right place when we are talking about when we are saying about the 60 to 70 million year back. So the question arises in your mind that, so at 60 to 70 million year back, what was our position? Our position in the southern hemisphere. Our position is in a land mass of Gondwana land. So first thing in physiography says that as a resident, as a member of our state, as in a, if you are going to be an administrative person, so you first of all know about your landmass. So our landmass is Rajasthan. So this landmass was evolved in a longer period of time. Even our landmass is associated with the Indian peninsula, but as in a Indian peninsula, our Indian peninsula is a part of Gondwana land, means the southern section of Pangaea continent. Okay, so this aspect which says that how we have been evolved, when we have been evolved, and what was the process of our evolution. What is Gondwana land and how our Aravalli, Hadoti and the western desert section, as you also heard about that, the western part of Rajasthan actually was an example of Tethys Sea. It's a remain of Tethys Sea. So first of all, you have to understand about the concept of Tethys Sea. And if you understand it, all these things, it means that you firstly understood about the first aspect of physiography, and the first aspect of physiography says that we have learned about the geological aspect of our state. So in simple language, physiography is incorporated of geology. And what geology says? Geology says that the evolution of our state, how our state was evolved, when our state was evolved, and in which geological time period, through which process we have been evolved. So all these things we have to be studied in the geological section. Means even you have heard about the Precambrian time period, the Carboniferous time period, even you heard about the Cretaceous time period, Tertiary time period. It might be possible that you have heard about that there is a lignite deposition in the western part of Rajasthan. Okay, and the lignite deposition in western part of Rajasthan is associated with the Tertiary time period, and this Tertiary time period is also associated for the formation of Himalaya also. So all these things which I am saying about that in various time period, through which process, all these things are incorporated in a form of geology. So geology says that the structural development, evolutional aspect of our state. Okay, so in physiography, firstly we have to learn about the geological. Then second aspect what we will discuss in physiography, we discuss about the relief features. And what do you mean by relief features? Relief features means landmass, landform. Now, landform. So what is landform? What is relief features? It is the outcome of geology. Means through which process we have been evolved, and what form, in which form we have been seen. ठीक है सर, पीडीएफ की क्लास कहाँ मिलेगी? ओके, पीडीएफ की क्लास टेलीग्राम पे मिल जाएगी, है ना। एक टेलीग्राम चैनल अपन में मैनेजमेंट टीम से कह के इंग्लिश मीडियम का बना लूँगा, उसके ऊपर अपन क्या है बना लेंगे, ठीक है। और इसमें सारी चीज़ों को अभी मैं समझा रहा हूँ, फिर मैं सब दिखाऊंगा। आज तो केवल पहली क्लास है, टू टीच द फर्स्ट सेक्शन ऑफ इंग्लिश language, and some students are doubted that sir, even some faculty members, they have also commented on this, sir, this English channel will be going to be an English channel because lots of faculties will discuss about it all in Hindi medium also. No, definitely no. They will try to convince you, and they will deliver their lecture both medium also, in Hindi medium and English also. But first and most important aspect is that in which language you are comfortable. If you are comfortable, like I am delivering all these things, and you are comfortable it, then I will deliver in it English medium also. If you are not comfortable, then I will deliver it in a Hindi medium also. But we will try it to maximize to use maximum English medium, because if you are familiar with it, if you are habitual with it, then definitely it will help you in your examination also, because your thought process, your thinking process, your learning process automatically will have to be upgraded also, and you will learn it, or you have to study it or listen is all these section also. Okay, तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता हिंदी और इंग्लिश का वैसे तो, बट इफ यू आर कंफर्टेबल इन दिस लैंग्वेज वी विल डिलीवर ऑन इट. ओके, तो इस कंसेप्ट से हमने ये लैंग्वेज क्या बनाया. वी आल्सो नो दैट देयर नंबर ऑफ persons who have been subscribed very right now, it's not too much, but in upcoming future definitely we will work on it. और ये आप सबके सहयोग से, ये सब आपके, because of you, your demand, it's only for you. आपके सपने हैं उनको पूरा करना है, और आपके सपनों के लिए उत्कर्ष परिवार खड़ा है, जगेश जोशी खड़ा है. ठीक है, तो आप बिल्कुल भी टेंशन मत करो, है ना. आपके जितने भी जो भी पीडीएफ के डाउट्स है और बाकी सब डाउट्स है वो भी हम क्या करेंगे, क्लियर करेंगे. नाउ आई विल कम ऑन माय टॉपिक आल्सो. नाउ physiography, what says that? Physiography says that firstly you have to learn about the evolution. Evolution means you have to learn about the development, you have to learn about the aspect how our state have been formed. And the another aspect says that when our state have been formed during a longer period of time, what is their visibility, means in which form they have been visible, means the mountain, the hills, the plateau in plain form. So the mountain, plateau, plain, all come in a framework of relief, or it is the outcome of geological process. So as in a geological process, what we have seen our state in a form of desert, in a form of mountain, in a form of Rauli, eastern plain or plateau region. So it is the outcome of this geological process. So as a physiography, if you heard this word physiography not only says that you have to study about the mountain, plateau or some plain area available in a state. It says that how this was formed, when this was formed, and what was the process through which period this process have been done. So the process, the structural aspect came in geological aspect, and the visible section available on our state says about the relief features of our state. Okay, and if we study both aspect, geology and relief, then the topic says that the physiography of Rajasthan. Okay, now first an important aspect is that firstly we have to study about the geology. Okay, and then we will discuss about the relief feature. But one more aspect I have to mention about that. When we discuss about the relief features means mountain, hill, mountain, hills, then plateau, and then plain region, along with the climate in a particular region, along with vegetation and soil also. If we study a particular region, if we study a particular state, and we are discussing and we are learning about the relief features, and we are learning about the availability of various landforms along with climate, vegetation and soil. So all these four aspect means relief, climate, vegetation and soil. If you learn it, the relief feature in particular region, and you know about the climatic condition at that particular region, you also know the vegetational availability of that particular kind of vegetation, whether it is deciduous or evergreen type of forest, or whether it is thorny in nature. So you learn about the vegetation and in that particular region. Even you also know about the availability of soil in that particular region. It means you know the topographical landmass, topographical formation, you know about the climatic, you know about the vegetation, you know about the soil. It means you have know about the physical features of that particular state or that particular country. Okay, got it my point? But important aspect that if you are study just below or just before the 10th level, means you are in a school going person and you are studying in a 7th, 8th, 9th class, even in a 10th level class. So if you are a student of a school going person, if you are a school going person, then we study about the physical features. Means you will getting my point. If you are in a school and you are in a 10th standard, you are in a 9th standard, 8th standard, then the topic is physical. Means you only, if physical means like physical features of India, means so you have to know about the mountain hills of India and the climate and then vegetation and the soil of the India. And the physical features of Rajasthan means you only know about all these things in a particular, but it apply only if you are in a school going person. But if you are in a higher education, means in 11th, 12th, graduation level, in post graduation, physical features is not mentioned in our syllabus. The syllabus mentioned about the physiography. Okay, and the physiography says that we have to study about the relief, but firstly we have to know about the geological aspect, means how this land was formed and how it is visible. You got my point? Now 4 points we have now understood it about that. What is physiography? Physiography means study of geology, structural aspect and relief feature. What is geology? What is relief features? And what is physical geography? So though these 4 terminological aspect, firstly we have to learn about it. That's why in our thumbnail, in our section, what we have mentioned in our thumbnail about the physical reasons. So physical reasons, what is physical, what is relief, all these will have to be covered up in this section also. Okay, right now if you understand all these things, then I'll write it and you will also write it in the same manner, so that you can understand what is the actual meaning of all these aspects. Okay, so first thing is, what is physiography? So first thing is physiography. So physiography says then understanding the formation of a state for a given period of time in which various process and evolution have been evolved and the land mass is visible in various landform, then the study is known as physiography. Okay, so it means that you have to study about the geological aspect, and the relief features or the land mass available in that particular region is known as a physiography. Okay, now so first thing is, what is physiography? Physiography in nutshell, in smallest literally way, we have to study about the geology and we have to study about the relief features in our country or in our state, whatever the land mass, whether it is in form of country, whether it is formed in the state. Okay, so physiography means how it was formed and in which relief features it is visible, it is seenable in that particular region. Okay. Now, what is geology? The second aspect, geology. It describe the structural evolution during a geological time duration. So in various time period, how the land mass was evolved, how the land mass have been developed, all these things we'll have to discuss in this geological aspect. Why we have to discuss all these things in geological aspect? Because it describes the chronology. So what is chronology? Chronology means in a hierarchical manner. When the first thing was developed, when the second thing was developed, like in Rajasthan you may heard about that. There is a Bab boulder section in the Jodhpur, okay, and there is a Akal wood fossil park in a Jaisalmer, and there is a basalt black soil in a Hadot region. And if I ask you about that, when all these things have been evolved, so the geology will give you answer. Geology says that the Bab boulder in Jodhpur region, this section evolved through the accumulation, deposition of various pebble and boulder section. मतलब कंकड़ पत्थर इकट्ठे हुए, pebble and boulder section, they just accumulated through the process of glaciation and oceanic water accumulation. सागर के पानी ने, ग्लेशियर ने इनको कंकड़ पत्थर को इकट्ठा किया during Carboniferous Permian period. Okay, then later in Mesozoic era, specifically in Jurassic period, in Jaisalmer district, Akal wood fossil park was evolved. And in Cretaceous time period, when the Indian subcontinent as a part of Indo-Australian plate, they just diverged from the eastern part of Africa. Then due to the tectonic movement, or specifically we say that the activities of volcanic activities, lava is outpour on the earth's surface and the land mass was covered by the basaltic rocks. So these things evolved, or these things developed in the Cretaceous time period. So this Cretaceous time period, Jurassic time period, Carboniferous time period, all these things will be saying that we are discussing about the geological time aspect in which the Rajasthan have been evolved. दुष्यंत जी आए हैं, अच्छा राम राम जी बोल रहे हैं, राम राम जी, दुष्यंत जी बहुत बहुत स्वागत है, ठीक है. Then as you know that channel is specifically for the English medium, but if you are Hindi medium student and you are comfortable with our language, you can come up on this channel and you will learn about the various aspects related to the particular topic, specifically in the RS. So we will discuss all these things, है ना. And don't think about that we will cover it in a one day and we will cover it in 2 days. It will take some time. Okay, you are going to be an RS officer, and RS officer have to be a more precise person. They have been attribute of dedicated, and they know various aspects, not only Rajasthan, they have to know about the various geographical features in world and India also. Even they have mastered in the constitutional section also. So as an RS aspirant means that a persistence, a consistent efforts in which your endurance have to be very high, and in upcoming days you are continue learning more and more thing, then you will definitely go through this examination. Okay, so what geology says that? Geology says that for it describes the structure evolution during a geological time duration. Okay, so what is the structural? Means the chronological, from which time period which part of the state have been evolved. Okay, then it also describes the composition. Composition means the rock formation in our state, like Aravalli was formed during the Precambrian period. So how this was formed? And in this formation, as I know that, and even you may heard about that, Aravalli is an example of igneous rocks. Mean it is a form of folded mountain when the earth surface was converted into a molten lava, and this molten lava was solidified, and this, due to this solidification, the igneous rock was formed. And in this igneous rock we also found the minerals of granite, gneiss and schist. Okay, so these kind of minerals which is available in Aravalli in a initial phase describe the composition, means what kind of elements are available in it, and they are still available right now in a intact manner, which have been formed in an earlier part, or they have just changed it. Means like the initial accumulation of element might, you have also know that it's a longer period of time, so they might have been changed, even not mightly, they must have been changed. Means the composition like the iron, the silica which have been accumulated in the earlier point, right now they have been changed. So that's why there are lots of rock formation found in our Aravalli also. Like the initial rock system is known as Archean, then on Archean converted into Dharwad converted into Kudappa, and Kudappa converted into a Vindhyan rock system. Right now in Aravalli or in Rajasthan, the maximum accumulation of which rock is the Vindhyan rock system, and this is sedimentary in nature. And why it is sedimentary in nature? Because it was eroded of earlier rock system, and the accumulated of these sediments have been converted into a sedimentary rock in a form of Vindhyan rock system, like limestone, marble, then sandstone, they all belong to the Vindhyan rock system. So this aspect of composition says that the minerals availability of Rajasthan can also be understood by the study of the geological aspect of our Rajasthan. Okay, the third aspect also describe this geology. What? And it describe it the potential, means there is another aspect specifically in our main syllabus related to the geo-heritage sites. Means as you know that Rajasthan is famous for tourist destination. Okay, and why there is a tourist destination? Because we have Aravalli, we have lakes, we have rich flora and fauna, we have a rich heritage cultural aspect, we have a forts also. Okay, so all these things which we have discussed or we have learned in this our in Rajasthan, they attract tourists from various countries. Why? They have been attracted the rich heritage and the cultural aspect of our state. But if I say that if a person coming in Rajasthan and he is only coming for food and then cultural and then some religious tourism also, so it only says about the one side of a coin, because Rajasthan have a great potential of compositional development. Means as you know that Aravalli is the oldest one, but in Rajasthan we have a desert formation. So in world order, where we found all these kind of spatial development in which the oldest and the newest both are available. So this provide a aspect which we say that it is says that we have a rich potential or a great potential of geo heritage, because this geo heritage will attract scientists, it attract students, it attract research scholars to come in Rajasthan. Already there are lots of tourists are coming in Rajasthan, but they are attracted towards the cultural aspect. But right now, as in a geological endowed state, Rajasthan also attracts more and more tourists, specifically the research scholars, the intelligentsia, the person who are indulged in a research scientific study. So Rajasthan will provide you some scientific study based material also. That's why we are in the examiner included this word geo heritage in our syllabus, because this geo heritage says that we will also attract the scientific research, we also attract the more and more students to come in Rajasthan, because we have a potential, because we have the oldest structure of Aravalli, we also have a desert formation, we have a remains of Tethys Sea, even we have a alluvial soil, we have a deposition of shale rock in which we found the deposition of petroleum and natural gas also. So all these things are available in Rajasthan also. We have a diverse biodiversity, we have a in western Rajasthan arid kind of diversity, arid kind of ecosystem, while in the southern part of Rajasthan we have a rich flora and fauna. So thick vegetation describe another kind of diversity. So all these things also says that we will attract more and more person come to in Rajasthan, and Rajasthan as the largest state in the country will come up with flying colors. Specifically says that we have a potential and we will convert all these things as in a economic earning section for our state also. Okay, कुल मिला के सारा सार क्या है, पैसा कैसे कमाया जाए, किस तरह से राजस्थान के अंदर मोर एंड मोर पोटेंशियल्स को क्या किया जाए, डेवलप किया जाए. क्योंकि देखो अभी जो है अधिकारी जो पहले के जो थे वो चले गए, जो हैं वो हैं. अभी जो हमारे सामने समस्या है वो तो है ही, प्रेजेंट टाइम की चैलेंजेस प्रॉब्लम्स तो हमारे पास है ही. बट इन अपकमिंग फ्यूचर क्या क्या सोचें हम, क्या क्या देखें, वो सब चीज़ें. ठीक है शिवानी जी, डेफिनेटली टेलीग्राम चैनल पे आपको पीडीएफ क्या है मिल जाएगी. ओके, नाउ क्रोनोलॉजी कम बता सकता है, कंपोजिशन बता सकता है, और जियोलॉजी हमारे को क्या बता सकता है, जियोलॉजी हमारे को पोटेंशियल, पोटेंशियल क्या करता है, डिस्क्राइब करता है. इट आल्सो डिस्क्राइब द पोटेंशियल, कि क्या हमारी और पोटेंशियल्स हो सकती है. वेरी गुड इवनिंग एनके जी, बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका. देन नेक्स्ट aspect said you have learned about the physiography and you have learned about the geology. Now we have to learn about the relief and what is landforms. So the relief features or the landform says, what says, I have to mention it, third point, relief features or landforms. So what is, in literally way, they are mountains, they are hills, they are plateaus, and they are plains. And what is relief and landform? It is the outcome of geological aspect. Means the visible section on earth surface. ठीक है. They also called the second order landform, also known as second order landforms. Means they evolved on the earth's surface after the formation of continents and oceans. Okay, तो उनके बाद इनका क्या हुआ है, फॉर्मेशंस हुआ है. ठीक है, रिलीफ फीचर्स जो माउंटेन है. एंड व्हाई वी हैव टू स्टडीज अबाउट द रिलीफ फीचर्स, बिकॉज ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ रिलीफ फीचर्स, when we studies about the climatic condition, vegetational aspect and soil also along with relief features, then the study is known as a physical reason study. Okay, so the fourth section says that what is, fourth one is physical features. So physical features means we have to study about the relief features, relief plus climate plus vegetation and plus soil. So if we study all these aspects in a particular region, then means we have study about the physical features of that particular region. Okay, so I think you all know about the basic terminology which have been used in our syllabus, and what examiner will ask you in an upcoming examination, what the exact meaning of physical feature, what is the exact meaning of relief and landforms, and what do you understand by the geological aspect, and what is the meaning of physiography. So the first and foremost word is physiography, because all these are incorporated incorporated in physiography. So if we study the physiographic of particular landmass, if specifically for Rajasthan or Indian aspect, so it's already incorporated the relief section or the physical section. That's why in our syllabus, instead of physical feature, there is a clearing mentioning of physiography. So in a terms of physiography, we will study the Rajasthan aspect, and in physiography, firstly we will discuss or we will describe you about the geological aspect. What is the geological aspect of Rajasthan, and then we will divide the Rajasthan in the physical features. Okay, so now we will discuss it, the geological aspect of Rajasthan. So you also mention in your copy about the geology of Rajasthan. Geology of Rajasthan. So as per geological aspect, Rajasthan is a part of two section. First section, Rajasthan is a part of Gondwana land. Gondwana land. And Rajasthan also remains of Tethys Sea. Rajasthan is a remains of Tethys Sea. Specifically from Gondwana land, Aravalli, and south eastern plateau is associated, while on the remains of Tethys Sea, the western plain and the eastern plain is associated. If we look minutely on the map of Rajasthan, there is a central highland, and this central highland is known as Aravalli. Okay, so this is the central part, this is the Aravalli central part. So thus this focus on the western part of this Aravalli. The western part is known as the western arid zone or western arid region. Technically it is a remains of Tethys Sea. Okay, while the eastern plain also is a remains of Tethys Sea. It means the eastern and western plain of Rajasthan associated with the remains of Tethys Sea, while the Aravalli and the Hadoti plateau region, so these two elevated section of Rajasthan, these relief features of Rajasthan, Aravalli and Hadoti, or in other word we will say about the southeastern plateau region of Rajasthan. So this Aravalli and Hadoti are associated with Gondwana land. Now the question arises, if we are discussing about the geology of Rajasthan, so it literally says that we are part of Gondwana land and we are associated with the remains of Tethys Sea. Or if we minutely visualize a Rajasthan map in our mind and clearly sees that there is a Aravalli and Hadoti section. So Aravalli and Hadoti associated with Gondwana land, and the western and eastern plains are associated with the remains of Tethys Sea. This is the clear vision which will come in your mind. Okay, now question arises, the Aravalli Hadoti is a part of Gondwana land. Now the question arises, what do you mean by Gondwana land and what is Gondwana land? So first most aspect is there, first most thing is that we have to learn about this Gondwana land. Okay, now I will describe you about the Gondwana land. So what is Gondwana land? Gondwana land. Okay, if you want to take a screenshot, you can also take it. Done? You are getting my voice? Okay, now the question arises, what do you mean by Gondwana land? Okay, so Gondwana land is a land mass which is the southern part of Pangaea continent. So I have mentioned you a Pangaea. Pangaea. Okay, a land mass which is surrounded by Panthalassa. So what is Panthalassa? Panthalassa. So it is a huge vast amount of water body surrounded the Pangaea. Actually, there was a hypothesis, or there is a theory which was propounded by Alfred Wegener in the year of 1912. That theory says that there is a name of theory is Continental drift theory. In this Continental drift theory, he was assumed that he was propounded that during the Carboniferous period around 350 million to 280 million year back, there was a land mass, and this land mass is known as a Pangaea landmass. Okay, and this landmass was surrounded by Panthalassa. So as assumed by this theory, as per the Alfred Wegener, this landmass was bifurcated into two subsection, and this two subsection says that the northern part is known as Laurentia and the southern part is known as a Gondwana land. So as per which person? As per Alfred Wegener. Alfred Wegener in his theory continent drift theory. In his theory, he was propounded in 1912 AD. So he was propounded the concept of Pangaea. He was propounded the concept of Pangaea. Okay, so which person? Alfred Wegener. Okay, I'll show you the image of Alfred Wegener through internet. Alfred Wegener, he's the champ at that time. He was postulated this theory of continental drift. So it was the idea of Alfred Wegener, and as per Alfred Wegener, there was a land mass. He is the Alfred Wegener. He is a German scholar. Actually, he was a climatologist, and initially he was trying to understand about the real causes of climatic diversity or changes aspect of various continents. Means you can understand about that, if there is a climatic condition is Europe, which is equally climatic condition available or equal kind of symptoms available in the same amount in Africa. So it says that these two landmass are equally attributed and equally distributed at a particular landmass of a at particular time of Earth. Means in India, specifically in the southern part of India, there is a traces of ice deposition, and the same traces found in Madagascar and in Australia. So it says that all these landmass are equal and they are at a particular place at the same time. So all these things just ignited his mind, and he at that time postulated or propounded this theory of continental drift. He at that time says that this Sial portion, the upper part of Earth, is moving from one place to another place, and due to this movement, this land mass of Pangaea bifurcated into two sections. First one is the northern one is known as a Laurentia, and the southern one is known as a Gondwana land, which I already mentioned you through this diagram. Okay, through this diagram, as you know that the Laurentia is the upper part of Pangaea and the Gondwana land is the southern part of Pangaea, and this idea was put forwarded by which person? The Alfred Wegener, the German scholar. Okay, through which theory? The continental drift theory in the year of 1912. Okay, so according to according to Wagner, there was a Pangea landmass, and this landmass was surrounded by Panthalassa during the time period of Carboniferous. And what was the time period? The time period was associated with the around 350 million year back. Okay, then as per Alfred Wegener, this landmass of Pangea also bifurcated, and as you know that the bifurcation says that the northern part is known as Laurentia, and the southern part is known as a Gondwana land. Okay, so if we believe in this theory and if we assume that this land was bifurcated, then further on this Laurentia divided into various subsections, means the North America, the Eurasia, they was formed through this Laurentia, and from Gondwana land, the landmass of Indian Peninsula, was formed. So I also mentioned you, this is the South America, this is the African, this is the Indian Peninsula, Australia and Antarctica. Okay, so all these landmass are part of Gondwana land, means Australia, Antarctica, South America, then Africa, and then Indian Peninsula. Okay, so all these land masses are part of Gondwana land, and Gondwana and Laurentia, they also part of Pangea, and the concept of Pangea was propounded by Alfred Wegener. So as a part of this Pangea or Gondwana land, or as a part of Indian Peninsula, what physical features of Rajasthan are associated with it? So the Aravalli and the Hadoti region, they belong to this Indian subcontinent, specifically the Indian Peninsula, and as a part of Indian Peninsula, as a part of Gondwana land, it is the oldest formation available in our state, which actually was formed through the initial time period of earth formation. Means in Rajasthan, or we can say that in a broader way, in Indian Peninsula, we found the oldest rock system of our earth. Just think about that, how important this thing is. The oldest rock system means that when the earth was formed, the initial phase, in an initial part of earth formation, so at that time rock formation found in not only Rajasthan, it also found in Indian peninsular region. So that's why we also found various sorts of minerals in Rajasthan or in Indian Peninsula also, specifically uranium, iron, manganese, aluminium, then lead, zinc, gold and silver also, even tungsten also associated with this time specific ancient time period. That's why we have a rich heritage of minerals deposition in Rajasthan. And in Rajasthan, even you know, or you have heard about that, the economic significance of Rajasthan is that the Rajasthan is on in a deposition manner of various minerals. Rajasthan came in second position, but in terms of non-ferrous, specifically non-metallic mineral deposition, Rajasthan come in first position in Indian. Means not other state have a just similarity or resembling position in Rajasthan. Rajasthan come in first position in terms of non-metallic minerals deposition. Even around 25% of non-metallic metallic minerals are available in Rajasthan. And why all these available in Rajasthan? Because Rajasthan is part of Gondwana land. Rajasthan is part of the oldest rock system which was formed during the earlier period of earth formation. That's why we have lots of minerals. Even some heard about that. There is a question asked about that. Aravalli is famous for various kinds of minerals. Aravalli is famous for hermons of minerals. खनिजों का जायगर अरावली को कहते हैं. Okay, so Aravalli is known as hermons of minerals. Why we called it hermons of minerals? It not say that you have to just mention that there are lots of minerals available in Rajasthan. You have to mention about that. Aravalli was formed during the Precambrian, and from Precambrian to upcoming Carboniferous formation in various time period, all different kind of rocks and all kind of minerals have been evolved on this particular landmass, on this particular structure. So that was there are lots of minerals availability in Rajasthan also. Okay, so all these things came in the topic of geology. So first thing what we have learned in geology, first thing we have learned from geology is that we are part of Gondwana land and we are the remains of Tethys Sea. So now question arises, what is Gondwana land? Gondwana land is a landmass and it was mentioned by Dr. Alfred Wegener during 1912 AD through Continental drift theory. As per Alfred Wegener, the Pangaea was surrounded by Panthalassa and this landmass was further bifurcated into two sections. The northern part is known as Laurentia and the southern part is known as a Gondwana land. And the southern part of Gondwana land further divided into various sections, from which we have to know the formation of Aravalli, the Indian Peninsula, the African, South American and Antarctica will be formed. Okay, so all these things says that as a part of Gondwana land, the Indian Peninsula is associated, and on this Indian Peninsula, the Aravalli and the Haruti region is associated. Okay, so I just mention it on Aravalli and Haruti. Haruti region is associated. Okay, now the questions arises. The Aravalli and Haruti is a part of Gondwana land. You got it. Now the question arises, when this Tethys Sea was formed and what parts of Rajasthan are associated with it. Okay, now first thing is we have to mention it and we have to understand it. What is Tethys Sea and what is the associated features or associated section of Rajasthan of this Tethys Sea. Okay, now just think about it. When the Indian Peninsula or the Indian subcontinental Indo-plate separated from Africa, it moves toward the northern direction. Okay, then Garima ji, hello, welcome on this RS English medium channel. Specifically right now we are discussing about the physiographical features of Rajasthan, how Rajasthan was evolved, during which period we have been evolved, through which landmass we have been formed. All these things we are discussing in today's session. Firstly, in the initial part of our session, I will describe about the syllabus, specifically various topics have been mentioned in our RPSC RS syllabus. So first of all, if you are just joined us and you are willingly to know about that what is the syllabus aspect of this Rajasthan geography, so you initially just after the completion of class you just go through the earlier section of this video. So you will get it the idea of Rajasthan geography, what actually examiner is going to ask you about the Rajasthan geography, the physical, the population aspect or the economic aspect of geography. Then right now, as I mentioned you that we will deliver you some quality education, quality aspect related to this topic. Then I am right now discussing about the physiography. Physiography says that we have to study about the geological aspect or the relief features available in our state. Right now I am describing you about the geological aspect in Rajasthan. So as per geological, we are part of Gondwana land and Tethys Sagar. Then what is Gondwana land? Gondwana land is the southern part of Pangaea supercontinent, and this Pangaea supercontinent ideology was put forwarded by Alfred Wegener during 1912 AD through his theory, through his concept of continental drift theory. Okay, so as per Wegener, the Indian peninsula is a part of Gondwana land and it was separated from eastern part of Africa. Okay, and in this on this Indian peninsula, the Aravalli and Hadoti section was associated. Okay, just think about it, this Indian peninsula moving in a northern direction. Okay, when this Indian peninsula moves in a northern direction, as you see in this picture, this Indian peninsula move in northern direction. So there is a water body in between the Laurentian eastern section, which we generally known as a Angara land. So in between Laurentia and the Indian peninsula, there is a water mass and there is a water body which we says that it is a Tethys Sea. So on this Tethys Sea, on the remains of Tethys Sea, when these two land masses collided or converges, you also heard about a formation of Himalaya. So Himalaya was evolved on the remains of Tethys Sea, and even the Himalaya, the northern plain of India, also evolved or developed on the remains of Tethys Sea. So the Himalaya and the northern plain are example of the newly formation of our Indian subcontinent, and on this newly formation of Indian subcontinent in terms of time scale of Earth, newly means not right now because it is associated from around 60 to 70 million year back, but 60 to 70 million year back is just nowadays for a terms of in terms of Earth time scale, because Earth was formed around 460 billion 460 not 4,600 million year back. So 4,600 million year back में 60-70 million year back कुछ ही समय पहले का ही क्या है लगता है. That's why it is important for in terms of our aspect. Okay, now another aspect says that कि टेथिस सी के रिमेन्स में हमको कैसे स्टडी करना होगा. तो टेथिस सी के रिमेन्स के अंदर जैसे अपन ने गोंडवाना लैंड देख लिया, नाउ क्वेश्चन अराइजेस व्हाट इज टेथिस सी. टेथिस सी, so remains of Tethys Sea. So what is Tethys Sea? Tethys Sea is a shallow water body situated in between Gondwana land and Angara land. Angara land is the eastern part of Laurentia. The eastern section of Laurentia, the eastern part of Laurentia in present time, the Chinese section or the Tibetan region is known as Angara land. So Angara land is the eastern part of Laurentia. Okay, now just look on this. So this is Angara land, and this is Gondwana land. This is Gondwana land. Okay, then so the water body in between these two land masses is known as Tethys Sea. So this is Tethys Sea. This is Tethys Sea. Okay, the land mass is Angara land and Gondwana land. Okay, now the question arises. Question says that what is the exact meaning of Tethys Sea? What is the real meaning of Tethys Sea? The real meaning of Tethys Sea says that it is an example of geosyncline. Geosyncline means a shallow water body situated in a two land mass. A shallow water body situated in a two land mass. Okay, this is a land mass surrounded this water body and it is shallow in nature, and there is a continuous sedimentation from the nearby land mass, and due to continuous sedimentation the floor of this shallow water body will tend to subduct, and due to this subduction this side section of land mass will collide, and due to this collision there is a formation of folded section which is generally known as a formation of Himalaya. So in terms of geosyncline, the Tethys Sea was considered. And now the question arises, who propounded this concept of geosyncline? So the concept of geosyncline was propounded by Kober. Which one? Kober. So Kober propounded this theory of geosyncline. Okay, so on the remains of this geosyncline or on the remains of the Tethys Sea, right now we saw a mighty Himalayas, and just south of this Himalayas, when the rivers came from the Himalaya through glacier melting process, the vast amount of sediment accumulated just in the south of this Himalaya, and the northern plain of India was formed. And as a remains of the Tethys Sea and the remains of this Tethys Sea, or as a part of accumulated sedimented section available in northern plain of India, we considered the western part of Rajasthan as a part of remains of Tethys Sea. मीन्स कि टेथिस सी किसका पार्ट, राजस्थान का वेस्टर्न डेजर्ट जो रीजन है वो एक्चुअली में क्या है, तो वेस्टर्न पार्ट ऑफ राजस्थान जो है, जस्ट थिंक अबाउट दिस मैप एंड जस्ट थिंक अबाउट दैट द सेक्शन ऑफ इंडियन पेनिनसुला, ये इंडियन पेनिनसुला, एंड इंडियन पेनिनसुला इज ए पार्ट ऑफ गोंडवाना लैंड. ओके, and just think about this Indian peninsula Gondwana land situated in the south section, and it moves towards the north. Arauli and Hadoti associated with this Indian peninsula, but just think about it, when these two land masses collided on the remains of this Tethys Sea, the present time Himalaya and the northern plain was formed. Okay, so it says that, clearly says that the western part of Rajasthan and the eastern part of Rajasthan right now is situated on the remains of Tethys Sea. Means at that time, specifically during tertiary time period or just before tertiary time period, there was a huge water body. There is a land covered with sea water, and this sea water is known as Tethys Sea. Okay, so you learn about the various physical regions of Rajasthan, and you learn all these things in a tagline of, in a name of geology of Rajasthan. And why we study the geology of Rajasthan? Because when we study the geology of Rajasthan, we understand the basic aspect, and the basic section of physiography says that when our state was formed, how our state was formed. So all these things can be easily understood by study the geology of Rajasthan. So it is the first part of physiography. Okay, but the important aspect is that okay, right now you just only learn about that the Arauli and Hadoti is a part of Indian peninsula, and the western part of Rajasthan and eastern part of Rajasthan, it's developed on the remains of Tethys Sea. Okay, so it means says that the picture came in your mind, and the picture says that you just only just bifurcating, or you are just separating or segregating the various physical region, and you are just associating it with the various major physical section of our India also. But the important aspect is that if you just understood about that, the Rajasthan presently, what we are going to study and what we are right now studying the Rajasthan, it's not the same single entity. It was evolved, and it was evolved through which we are associated with peninsula also, and we also associated with the northern plain of India also. Okay, so all these things which came in your mind says that you just getting a glimpse that we have the ancient time of rock system, and we also have the alluvial system, we also have the desert system in Rajasthan also. So it all says that Rajasthan is a complex physical aspect in which the ancient rock system and the newest rock system both are available. Okay, so all these things have to be studied in the geological aspect, but the important aspect, the foremost part is that you just only understand about that we are part of which section. Right now if I ask you about you कि just associated it the physical features in Rajasthan with the physical features of India. So right now you are in position, you are in kind of position, you are just only associated it with the Indian physical region, but you are not fully prepared when these all things have been evolved in which time duration and which geological time section. So that's why we have to study the timely section evolution in Rajasthan also. That's why then you will describe it the various formation in various time period. Okay, now the Gondwana land क्या है ये आपको अच्छे से समझ में आ गया, टेथिस सागर क्या है ये भी आपको अच्छे से क्या हो गया, क्लियर हो गया। अब इन दोनों के इवोल्यूशंस का टाइम पीरियड हमको क्या करना होगा, पढ़ना पड़ेगा। उसके लिए हमको क्या करना पड़ेगा, उसके लिए हमको जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल की क्या पड़ेगी, जरूरत पड़ेगी। ओके, सो व्हाट इज जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल? जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल, सो जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल क्या करती है? जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल क्रोनोलॉजी में डेवलपमेंट को मेंशन करती है। इट मेंशन क्रोनोलॉजी इन ए डेवलपमेंट। ओके, इट आल्सो describe formation of रॉक्स फॉर्मेशन को भी क्या है बताती है। ठीक है, अब जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल में हम कैसे स्टडी करें? जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल के अंदर हमको क्या करना पड़ेगा, एक चार्ट बनाना पड़ेगा। ठीक है, सो विद द हेल्प ऑफ चार्ट वी विल स्टडी द डेवलपमेंट इन राजस्थान। ओके, सो व्हाट चार्ट सेज दैट? चार्ट सेज दैट, एक लाइन ले लेते हैं। This line says that if we crosses this line and move toward the northern section, it is the initial phase of earth formation. Means हम क्या करते हैं, यहाँ लिखते हैं eon, यहाँ लिखते हैं era, यहाँ लिखते हैं period and then यहाँ लिखते हैं epoch. Okay, so first thing is that, so what eon says that, what era says that, what period says that, when what epoch says that, it is a time period of earth. जैसे कैलेंडर होता है, साल होते हैं, महीने होते हैं, हफ्ते होते हैं, दिन होते हैं, ऐसे पृथ्वी का भी एक टाइम कैलेंडर है। ओके, तो उसमें सबसे बड़ा टाइम कौन सा है? ईओन। ओके, ईओन क्या कहता है? ईओन कहता है कि 570 मिलियन ईयर से पहले का टाइम पीरियड। ठीक है, अर्थ का फॉर्मेशन कब है? अर्थ का फॉर्मेशन है 4600 मिलियन, ये अर्थ का फॉर्मेशन है। इट मीन्स कि जब से अर्थ बनी है तब से 570 मिलियन ईयर तक का जो टाइम पीरियड है वो इस लाइन से पहले का है और उसके बाद का इस लाइन के बाद का। ठीक है, इससे पहले का टाइम पीरियड एजोइक कहलाता है। क्या कहलाता है? एजोइक। एजोइक का मतलब क्या है? इस समय जीव जंतु कुछ भी नहीं है। Then after 570 million it is Joic time period. Okay, so during Ajoic time period means before 570 million year back there is a era and the era is known as a Proterozoic. And during this Proterozoic there is a period and the period is known as Precambrian. And Precambrian is famous for development of Aravalli. So as you heard that Aravalli was formed during the Precambrian period. Okay, and this development happened or occurred just before 570 million year back. Okay, so you also know that Aravalli is a part of Gondwana land. So Gondwana land का पार्ट है अरावली. So what is Gondwana land? Gondwana land is a southern section of Pangaea. And how many landmass are associated with Gondwana land? Along with Indian Peninsula, Australia, Antarctica, Africa and South America are associated with Gondwana land. So it says that as a part of Indian Peninsula, Aravali is considered is the oldest formation of Earth also. And when this Aravali was formed? So Aravali was formed during the Precambrian period. Okay, and then when the Aravali was formed, the initial rock was known as a Archean rock system. Means the initial rock found in Aravali is known as a Archean. But when the time changes, this initial rock also changes. Means the Aravali in initial phases also changes in an upcoming sequencing order. Okay, now the question arises, what is the change in time period? So when we crosses 570 million year section and we crosses this line, then the era also changes, and the era is known as a Paleozoic. So during Paleozoic there are 6 periods, namely Cambrian, Ordovician, then Silurian, then Devonian, then Carboniferous, and then Permian. And all these time period came under 572 240 million year back. So I am discussing you about the time period of in between 570 million to 240 million year back. So the time period, नमस्कार तनु जी, स्वागत है आपका. Then so the time period in between 570 million to 240 million known as a Paleozoic era, and there is a subsection of this Paleozoic era which known as a various period. So can you namely the various period? The Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous and Permian. नमस्कार जी, थैंक यू. देन आज का सत्र है बड़ा मस्त, फर्स्ट डे का सत्र है. कोशिश है कि आज मैं आपको राजस्थान की फिजियोग्राफी के कुछ जियोलॉजिकल एस्पेक्ट्स को बताऊं. थोड़ा सा ये ऐसा सेक्शन है जिसको जनरली स्टूडेंट्स क्या करता है, अवॉइड करता है. सो थ्रू दिस इंग्लिश मीडियम RS चैनल, RS उत्कर्ष इंग्लिश मीडियम, वी आर ट्राइंग to describe you more and more aspect in English medium also. Okay, yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Definitely, you are the hiding, you are the roaming person specifically in the western part of Rajasthan. That's why I remember you, Tanu, है ना, Tanu and Garima. Okay, you both are very helpful in our class period, specifically when we are discussing about the western part of Rajasthan. So with the help of Tanu, we will move in the western part of Rajasthan. If am I right, you just thumb up है ना. हाँ, then you are saying then sir आप हमें जान गए क्या. Then if you confirming that you are the right person, if you are the same person through which we have been discussing the western part of Rajasthan, है ना. तो आप वही हो जिसके साथ हम इर्ग वगैरह सब घूम रहे थे पश्चिम राजस्थान में. Then why, that's why I remember you, है ना. Okay, now the aspect says that during Paleozoic era there are 6 periods. Okay, so in these 6 periods, the initial part of Aravali in a form of Archean rock system, this Archean rock system changes in a Dharwad rock system. And the question arises, when this Dharwad rock system was formed, so this Dharwad rock system was formed during the Cambrian period. After Dharwad formation, there is another rock formation. There is another rock formation during Ordovician time period, and it is known as a Kudappa rock system. And during Silurian and Devonian time period, there is a formation of Vindhyan rock system. There is a formation of Vindhyan rock system. So what geology says that? Geology says that when we are discussing about the various physical features in Rajasthan, like we are discussing about the Aravalli and Hadoti. So Aravalli and Hadoti are part of Indian Peninsula. In just literally way we say that Aravalli and Hadoti are part of Indian Peninsula, but in broader sense we say that we are part of Indian Peninsula or we are part of Gondwana land. Okay, so what is Gondwana land? The southern part of Pangaea. So along with Indian Peninsula there are Australia, Antarctica, Africa and South America. They all belongs to Gondwana land. Now the question arises, as a part of Indian Peninsula, Aravalli and Hadoti is associated with this Indian Peninsula, but when this was formed? So through the geological time scale we are discussing about that the Aravalli, which is part of Gondwana land, which is part of Indian Peninsula, this was evolved during the time period of Precambrian. So during the time of Precambrian it was evolved in a form of Archean rock system, and this Archean rock system later on changes in various rock system, and in which rock system the Archean converted into Dharwad and Dharwad converted into a Kudappa, and this Kudappa also converted in Vindhyan rock system, and all these rock system are available in Rajasthan in present time also. And that's why in Rajasthan we have lots of minerals, because some minerals are associated with Dharwad, some minerals are associated with Archean, then some are associated with Kudappa, Dharwad, and in present time most of the rock systems, specifically the non-metallic rock system, are associated with the Vindhyan rock system. So all these things evolved during a certain period of time. If the examiner asks you about what is the significance of Aravalli, describe the geological significance of Aravalli, then we have to mention all these things also, because Aravalli is the oldest mountain system available on the world, not only in Rajasthan, not only in the world, and this oldest mountain system evolved during the Precambrian, and in this Precambrian it also changes time to time, and through these changes there are lots of rock system evolved in this Aravalli, and through this rock system we found various kind of minerals. Just think about it, there is a section, there is a sandwich kind of structure in which the basic one is Archean, then Dharwad, then Kudappa, and then Vindhyan. So initially we are seeing Aravalli in a form of Vindhyan, or as a form of Vindhyan we say Aravalli is an example of relict mountain, residual mountain. It was eroded, but initially the Aravalli was formed in a form of Archean. It is granitic in nature, it is fossil-less minerals. This Archean says that this is brittle, this is solid in nature. It is not brittle, it is crystalline in nature. Okay, so through time changes, the Aravalli also changes, and this change says that there are various rock system available in Aravalli, and due to this various availability of various rock system there are abundance of minerals available in Rajasthan. And the examiner asks you about why we called Aravalli as a hermans of minerals, why we called it in Hindi we says that khanijo ka jayagar. It is not the availability of mineral, it says that there is a proper rock system available in, but the maximum which we found in Aravalli is in form of non-metallic. And why there is a abundance of non-metallic in Aravalli? Because in present form Aravalli is in a form of Vindhyan rock system, that's why it is. Okay, so first of all you have to take a screenshot or you just write it, so all these things, so that it will help you, or I'll also mention it. Okay, so then just mention it. I'll take a sip of water. हाँ भाई, नोट डाउन हो गया आपका? ठीक है, चलो नाउ मूव ऑन। अब क्वेश्चन बनता है कि अरावली का जो इनिशियल आर्कियन रॉक सिस्टम है, ये जो आर्कियन पार्ट है, इसमें क्या मिलता है? आर्कियन कन्वर्ट हो गया धारवाड़ में, देन धारवाड़ कन्वर्ट हो गया कुडप्पा में, एंड कुडप्पा कन्वर्ट हो गया विंध्यन में। ओके, नाउ फर्स्ट थिंग, आर्कियन इज द इनिशियल वन एंड इट इज इग्नियस रॉक है, और इस इग्नियस रॉक के अंतर्गत आपके क्या मिलता है? इस इग्नियस रॉक में ग्रेनाइट के अलावा नीस एंड सिस्ट, ये मिनरल्स क्या करते हैं? आपके आर्कियन रॉक सिस्टम में मिलते हैं। नाउ द सेकंड एस्पेक्ट है आर्कियन कन्वर्टेड इनटू धारवाड़ इज आल्सो एन इग्नियस रॉक सिस्टम, एंड इन धारवाड़ रॉक सिस्टम वी फाउंड वेरियस इकोनॉमिकली वाइटल मिनरल्स। सो इकोनॉमिकल वाइटल मिनरल्स में कौन कौन मिल रहे हैं? इसके अंदर मिल रहा है आयरन, इसके अंदर मिल रहा है आपके आयरन के साथ मैग्नीज, देन आपके मिल रहा है PbSn, लेड एंड जिंक, देन आपके Au गोल्ड मिल रहा है, देन आपके सिल्वर मिल रहा है, ठीक है, देन आपके यूरेनियम, ये सारे मिनरल्स किस में मिल रहे हैं? धारवाड़, दैट्स व्हाई इट इज ए इंपॉर्टेंट वन। धारवाड़ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, जहां भी धारवाड़ रॉक सिस्टम मिलेगा ना, वहां पर इकोनॉमिकली वाइटल्स मिनरल्स आपको क्या है? मिलेंगे। देन धारवाड़ आल्सो कन्वर्टेड इनटू ए कुडप्पा, एंड कुडप्पा इज पार्शियली इग्नियस। व्हाई partially igneous and partially sedimentary? Because it is transitional section in between Vindhyan and Dharwad. Okay, but through this Kudappa rock system, we found copper in Rajasthan and tungsten. As you know that Jhunjhunu region is famous for copper deposition, and in Nagaur, Deghana is famous for tungsten deposition. So this tungsten deposition is associated with the Kudappa rock system. Okay, now the next aspect is Vindhyan. Vindhyan is important one because Vindhyan is a eroded section of a previous or the predecessor rock system. Means the Vindhyan evolved on the erosional process. When the previous rock system was eroded, all these things was sedimented, and due to this sedimentation, this Vindhyan rock system was formed. Okay, so it is an example of sedimentary, then metamorphized, rock. Okay, so through this rock system, what we found sandstone, then limestone, sandstone, then limestone, then marble, then slate, and many more semi-precious stone, even non-metallic minerals are generally in which Rajasthan is dominant in various states, specifically in India. They all belong to Vindhyan rock system. Okay, now the question arises, you thought about that, why sir we have to discuss all these things? Because as a topic of physiography, you have to learn about the geological aspect, and as a geological aspect you have to learn about the formation, the structural development in Rajasthan. So initially we just say that the Aravalli and Hadoti are associated with the Gondwana land. Okay, you just heard about that Gondwana land, and what is Gondwana land? You may know about it. But the question arises, it only says that we are part of Gondwana land. But what is the significance of a part of Gondwana land? So as a part of Gondwana land, we belongs to the oldest rock system. Now the question arises, when I said that we belong to the oldest rock system, now the question arises, which rock system found in Rajasthan? And specifically in Aravalli section, the initial rock system is known as a Archean rock system. And through this Archean rock system we found granite. So you heard about it, the Jalore section, Pali section, in which we found various granitic rocks. So granite we found in Rajasthan, we found iron, we found lead, zinc, gold. We've also found silver in Rajasthan, we found copper in Rajasthan, and we found sandstone, marble, and all slate kind of non-metallic minerals in Rajasthan. So they all belong to various rock system in Rajasthan. Now the question you will understand about this, all says that Rajasthan is a hermans of minerals because we have a various rock system. But now RPSC and the subordinate board, they frequently asking you about some more aspect. Means RPSC and subordinate board says that the initial rock of Archean is also known as Bhilwara group. Is also known as a Bhilwara group. That also known as Bhilwara group. हाँ, सोनिया जी बहुत बहुत है, मैं बहुत बढ़िया, धन्यवाद समय पर आने के लिए, धन्यवाद. देन वी आर डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द रॉक सिस्टम. ओके, आप इसको भी नोट डाउन करना चाहते हैं तो इसको भी नोट डाउन कर सकते हैं, स्क्रीनशॉट आप ले सकते हैं. Then okay, now the next aspect is the Archean rock is also known as the Bhilwara group. The Bhilwara group rock system. Then you may heard about that various rock system or the geological system found in Rajasthan. Okay, so this Aravalli section not only said it is a mountain, it is not a single mountain. It also describe you in this Archean rocks in Aravalli system. We also found various kind of minerals. And why there is a various kind of minerals availability in Rajasthan? Because in Aravalli the initial rock system is known as a Archean, and this Archean rock system is known as a Bhilwara rock system. Even you may heard about the Delhi supergroup. So the Delhi supergroup, also associated with this Archean rock system. Okay, then you heard about it. Then okay, then okay, then so the Bhilwara supergroup, the Delhi supergroup, even RPSC asked you in some examination also, even there is a subsection of this Delhi supergroup. And all these Delhi supergroup, Bhilwara group, supergroup describe about the various minerals availability in Rajasthan also. Okay, so the Delhi supergroup also subdivided into Alwar group, then Railo, and then Ajabgarh. So all these super groups are the subsection. Subsection means it describes the various kinds of minerals composition availability in Rajasthan also. Okay, but the foremost, the important one is the Alwar group and the Railo group. Railo group generally found in the southern part of Aravalli. Okay, you may heard about the various minerals, specifically the crystalline rock system found in Rajasthan, and they all belong to the initial rock system of Rajasthan, which says that it is part of Archean rock system. Now another question arises when we discuss about the Archean rock system or the Bhilwara group or the Delhi group. So who studied this section? who was the person who initiated this study to study all these things? So he was Mr. Heron. Might be you heard about that, Mr. Heron. So Mr. Heron studied all these things. Even he described about the initial rock system in Rajasthan, which is known as Bundelkhand gneiss. Okay, सोनिया जी आपकी कृपा से बढ़िया. ओके गरिमा जी. ओके ओके, you all are here and you are getting my point. If you are not comfortable in English language, you can mention you, because as a aspirant of English medium student, the RS Utkarsh channel is trying to provide the more and more quality education, whether you are from Hindi medium or whether you are from English medium. So if you are aware and if you are willingly to crack this examination as a medium of English medium, so we are ready and we are able and we are capable to deliver all this in English language also. But you have to show your zeal also, because without your zeal, without your dedication, we will not achieve our goal. Because as a student, I also believe, even you thought that sir you feel as a ourselves as a student. Yes, I also feel as a student, because when I teaches you, when I describe you anything, just I thought about it as a I am a student. I am just sitting in front of camera and just sitting in front of you. That's why I'll reveal more and more aspect. Okay, so if you are comfortable in this language, I'll deliver it throughout in English. If you are not comfortable, to just mention it, sir, just please describe it in some aspect in Hindi language, so we can understand about all these things, and you can write it in English medium, so then we can then slow down it. Okay, but if you are comfortable, then I'll deliver it. Okay, और कोशिश करो थोड़ी बहुत अंग्रेजी आनी भी चाहिए. Okay, now the first and important aspect, that the Archean rock system was described by Professor Heron. And why Professor Heron is important? Because he described the initial rock system found in Rajasthan is in a name of Bundelkhand gneiss. Which one? Bundelkhand gneiss. Bundelkhand gneiss. Okay, so this is important. It means the initial rock which was evolved in Rajasthan is known as Bundelkhand gneiss. Okay, and this initial rock which was evolved in Rajasthan in a form of Bundelkhand gneiss is a part of Archean rock system. And this Archean rock system was evolved during the Precambrian period. Okay, so it says that the earliest rock formation of earth, I am saying about the earth, the earliest rock system of earth also available in Rajasthan. So just think about that. There is a topic mentioned in our syllabus, the geoheritage. So geoheritage, what says that? Ki we have a potential for research, we have a potential for geological studies. So as a potential state, why not we promoted our section to the world level, so that some renowned geologists, some scholars will come here and they will study in Rajasthan, and Rajasthan also provide a revenue in terms of research section. But just think about it, the research is going in our state, then it will definitely boost up the quality education in our state also. ओके, राज प्रजापति जी कह रहे हैं, गरिमा दीदी क्या सोनिया से बात कर रहे हो, पढ़ लो. ओके ओके ओके, हाँ, देन थोड़ा सा आपको लगता होगा, बट जस्ट आपको ऐसा भी लगता होगा सर आप दिन भर क्लास लेते हो, कभी थकते नहीं हो क्या? थकते हैं, दर्द होता है, पैर भी बहुत दुखते हैं, पर आप लोगों के सपने ज़्यादा बड़े, आप लोगों के सपने से बड़ा कोई नहीं है, और आप लोगों के सपने से भी ज़्यादा बड़े हैं आपके अपनों की आपसे उम्मीदें. हम सब कुछ तोड़ सकते हैं, कांच तोड़ सकते हैं, लकड़ी तोड़ सकते हैं, और कुछ भी तोड़ सकते हैं, इंसान को भी तोड़ सकते हैं, बट किसी की उम्मीद नहीं तोड़नी चाहिए. और ख़ासकर माँ बाप और अपने जो हमसे उम्मीद करते हैं, उसको सोचते हुए हम खड़े हैं आपके साथ. उत्कर्ष परिवार आपके साथ खड़ा है. ठीक है, तो जस्ट थिंक अबाउट इट. इफ़ यू आर विलिंगली टू क्रैक दिस एग्ज़ाम, whether you opted Hindi medium or whether you opted English medium, we are always with you. Just you have to thought about it, you have to work for it, and you just work on it. we will always come with you, and we will definitely help you, not only in study, specifically in prelims, mains and interview study, but also in grooming your personality also. As an educator, it doesn't mean that we will deliver the subject matter to you, but as an educator, or acha word hai guru, as a guru, we will also assist you to just enhances your personality also. Okay, so just keep with us, and if you like our channel, please like it, subscribe it, because it will boost us. Because if you are willingly to do it, then we are with you. Now you are getting my point. Now I am describing about the physiographical aspect, and as a physiographical, firstly we discuss about the geological aspect. So what is geological? Geological, the structural aspect, the evolutionary aspect, the aspect in which we have to discuss various features which have been evolved during a various period of time. Okay, so in various period of time, the following features have been evolved, have to be discussed in a geological aspect. So as a geological, Rajasthan is associated with Gondwana land, and Rajasthan is associated with Tethys Sagar also. So what is Gondwana land? Gondwana land is the southern part of Pangaea, and along with Indian Peninsula, there is a Africa, Antarctica, Australia, South America, and as a part of Indian Peninsula, Aravalli and Hadoti are the oldest one which is available in Rajasthan. This says that from which part we are associated. As a Tethys, remains of Tethys Sea, we says that we are associated with the northern plain of India. Okay, but it only says that from which part we are associated. Then when we studied the associated aspect, we will study the development in various time period. So development in various time period required a geological time scale. So in development, we firstly see that the initial Aravalli or the Aravalli section evolved during the Precambrian, and Aravalli evolved Precambrian in a form of which rock system? Archean. It means the magma solidified, and the magma solidified converted into igneous rocks, and through this igneous rock, or through from this Archean rock system, we found granite, gneiss and schist minerals in Rajasthan. These are the initial minerals of Rajasthan. As per Professor Heron, the initial rock is Bundelkhand gneiss, a type of a section of gneiss. But according to some geologists, the Archean rock system or the initial rock system found in Rajasthan, also known as Bhilwara group or the Delhi group, and there is this subsection of Delhi group, namely Alwar, Railo and Ajabgarh. In one of exam they ask you about the Railo system. So the Railo system associated with the initial part of Aravalli. Okay, now the another aspect says that this initial Archean rock system converted into Dharwad, and what is the significance of Dharwad? Dharwad says that Dharwad is the economical vital aspect of Rajasthan. Dharwad rock system having iron, manganese, gold, silver, and it also having various kind of it also having uranium also. So all these minerals are economic one, the economically vital one. Okay, so that's why the Dharwad rock system is the important one. But the problem is that the Dharwad evolved on the Archean rock system. So Dharwad evolved on Archean rock system, and Dharwad converted into Kudappa. In Kudappa we found copper and tungsten, and Kudappa and all the previous one eroded and they converted into sedimentary rocks. So in sedimentary rocks known as a Vindhyan rock system, so in present time Aravalli is mostly visible in a sedimentary rock system. That's why it is very difficult to get the Dharwad rock system or the initial rock system. It is only through by the natural erosional process, when the Vindhyan eroded, Kudappa eroded, then the Dharwad rock system will be available on the earth's surface. Otherwise, if you have to drill out, then it will take more time and it will cost you more. That's why it is not very easy to get the Dharwad rock system. We have lots of economically minerals, but it is not economically feasible. Feasible means it is beneath on earth's surface. So that's why just availability of these minerals doesn't say that we can explore it. If it is available on the earth surface and it is available on the upper earth surface, then it will be explorable. Okay, sir, how many attempts you have give for RS? RS I have attempted for three attempted. I have in 8, 10 and 12. Although I have just faced the interview, in the last one I have got the rank also, है ना? Okay, then राज प्रजापति जी पूछ रहे थे, चलो थैंक यू वेरी मच, है ना? देन आपको लगता हो कि सर आप ऐसे फ्लोरी कैसे बात कर लेते हो? फ्लोरी क्या है, जस्ट इट्स अ सिंपल एस्पेक्ट है, तो हम इसमें क्या है कर लेते हैं, बट ओके, ये चीज़ समझ में आ गई। अब जैसे ही आपको ये चीज़ समझ में आई तो इस जियोलॉजिकल टाइम पीरियड में हम सिलूरियन डिवोनियन तक पूछे। अच्छा, एक मज़ेदार चीज़ और बता रहा हूँ, सिलूरियन डिवोनियन जो एस्पेक्ट है, टाइम पीरियड है, इट इज़ आल्सो फेमस इन वर्ल्ड स्पेसिफिकली फॉर द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ वेजिटेशन। अर्थ पे पहली बार प्लांट्स का फॉर्मेशन भी इसी समय हुआ था, सिलूरियन और डिवोनियन के टाइम पीरियड। ओके, नाउ अनदर एस्पेक्ट इन राजस्थान। राजस्थान का अनदर एस्पेक्ट कहता है कि जब हम विंध्यन रॉक सिस्टम पे आ गए, तो विंध्यन रॉक सिस्टम पे आने का मतलब है कि राजस्थान के अंदर, जस्ट इस डायग्राम को देखेंगे राजस्थान का, कि राजस्थान में जो ये हम मैप देख रहे हैं, एक दूसरा मैप ले लेते हैं, चलो एक यहाँ, एक अपन जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल में यहाँ एक मैप ले लेते हैं, ठीक है? यहाँ एक राजस्थान का मैप ले लेते हैं, आजा राजस्थान मैप, ये राजस्थान का मैप। ओके, सो ये राजस्थान के मैप में हम क्या करते हैं, सबसे पहले ये अरावली का सेक्शन ले लेते हैं। ओके, और इस अरावली के सेक्शन में ये अरावली ले ली, और ये इनिशियली अरावली है आर्कियन, देन धारवाड़, देन कुडप्पा, देन विंध्यन। पर जब ये विंध्यन फॉर्मेशन में आई, मीन्स ऐसे समझो कि ये अरावली पार्ट, ठीक है? तो इसका इनिशियल जो रॉक है वो कौन सा है? इसका इनिशियल जो रॉक है वो आर्कियन है, ठीक है? फिर आर्कियन कन्वर्टेड हो गया धारवाड़ में, और धारवाड़ कन्वर्टेड हो गया आपके किसके अंदर? कुडप्पा में, ठीक है? अब ये तीनों ही इरोड होते हैं, और जब तीनों ही इरोड होते हैं तो इनके सेडिमेंट्स क्या करते हैं? अरावली के ईस्टर्न, ये तीनों इरोड होंगे तो अरावली के ईस्टर्न पार्ट में डिपॉजिट हो जाएंगे, और अरावली के वेस्टर्न पार्ट में भी डिपॉजिट हो जाएंगे। क्लियर? यही जो इरोडेड सेक्शन सेडिमेंट्री फॉर्मेशन में ईस्टर्न और वेस्टर्न पार्ट में है, दिस इज नोन एज विंध्यन रॉक सिस्टम। Now the question arises, the Vindhyan rock system found in eastern part from Dholpur to Chittorgarh region. Dholpur to Chittorgarh. While the Vindhyan rock system found in western part of Rajasthan from Nagaur to Birmania. Means the Vindhyan rock system is in eastern part or in western part also. So in eastern part, it is in between Dholpur to Chittor, while in western part it is in between Nagaur to Birmania. So Birmania is in Jaisalmer. So what it means? It means says that the central section of Aravali, the central part of Aravali, or in Rajasthan, Aravali is situated in the middle part of Aravali, and Aravali is in form of Archean, Dharwad, Kudappa and Vindhyan. But this Vindhyan rock system not only found in Aravali itself also, it also deposited in eastern part of Aravali and western part of Aravali. And eastern part, it is associated with Dholpur, Karauli, Savai Madhopur, Bundi to Chittorgarh. While in western part of Aravali, this Vindhyan rock system found in Nagaur to Birmania. That's why we found sandstone in Dholpur and Jodhpur also. That's why we found limestone in eastern part and western part also. We have lots of cemented factories in Rajasthan. And why there is a cemented factory in Jodhpur, Nagaur, Bundi, Chittorgarh? Because we have abundance of Vindhyan rock system, specifically limestone availability in Rajasthan. So that's why all these things which I have been discussing you right now, it all says about the physical aspect, but it says about the structural aspect, and this physical structural aspect is known as the geological aspect. And the examiner is asking you in this examination कि describe the structural composition, describe the potential. So all these things you have to write down in mains examination in a potential segment. We have a potential. On this potential, you also mentioned about the various section where we found the limestone, where we found the sandstone. So all these distribution of minerals, all the potential we have in Rajasthan rely on the study of geology. Okay, आई चीज समझ में? Sir, did you give UPSC? Yeah, I have also faced UPSC also. Yeah, definitely. The platform, specifically the learning platform, the Utkarsh platform is the best platform for those students who are in Hindi medium or English medium also. Okay? We have a RAS Utkarsh Hindi medium channel. So lots of students have been learning from this channel. Even some of them enrolled in Nirmal batch also. It's a minimum fees based platform or minimum fees based course through which you can avail your dream. Okay. Sir, Jodhpur कब आ रहे हो? Definitely, Anil Bishnoi ji, I will try my best to come on Jodhpur. In upcoming month, I will definitely come it. And right now, there are lots of responsibility in Jaipur also. So first of all, I have to fulfill all these things, and definitely in upcoming days, I will come to Jodhpur also, and we will definitely meet in Jodhpur. Okay. So as a part of Utkarsh family, it's my moral duty, it's my responsibility to come Jaipur and Jodhpur also. Okay. Definitely. बहुत बच्चे सब अच्छे हैं, जयपुर के भी अच्छे हैं, जोधपुर के भी बहुत अच्छे हैं, स्टूडेंट बहुत अच्छे हैं. उत्कर्ष परिवार बहुत बेस्ट परिवार लगता है मेरे को. स्टूडेंट्स मेहनत करते हैं और बिल्कुल डेडिकेटेड तरीके से क्या है पढ़ते हैं. ठीक है, और बहुत अच्छा रिजल्ट भी दे रहे हैं. ये बहुत अच्छी चीज़ है. और इसीलिए आज जो हमारा है, आपसे मैं रिक्वेस्ट भी करूंगा, ये जो हमने इंग्लिश मीडियम का चैनल स्टार्ट किया है, इसके लिए प्लीज़ इसको सब्सक्राइब करके उन विद्यार्थियों तक जरूर पहुंचाओ जो इंग्लिश मीडियम, कोई भी इंग्लिश मीडियम का स्टूडेंट मिले तो आप उसको बताओ कि सब उत्कर्ष का ये चैनल है, तो डेफिनेटली इसको सब्सक्राइब करो. और इस पर आपको रेगुलर बेसिस के ऊपर क्लासेस मिलेगी, सभी सब्जेक्ट की क्लासेस मिलेगी. हमारी कोशिश रहेगी कि रोज़ आपके लिए क्लासेस रहो. मैं हूं और बाकी मेरी टीम मेंबर्स हैं, वो सब डेली आपके पास आएंगे और आपको क्या करेंगे, डिस्क्राइब करेंगे. ओके. नाउ another aspect is that all you have learned about that the initial rock system of Aravalli is known as Archean, and then the present time of Aravalli rock system is in a Vindhyan. And what kind of minerals associated with them, you have already learned about it. And the initial rock system of Aravalli in a form of Bundelkhand is described by Professor Heron. Now the question arises, and all these things whatever I have been talking you, what I have been describing you, it is already mentioned in Hanuman Saxena. But the problem is that Hanuman Saxena is in Hindi medium. Okay, so just I translated it in English and I am describing you all the things. Now the question arises that the present form of Aravalli is in Vindhyan. The present form of Aravalli is Vindhyan rock system. Vindhyan rock. So now the question says that who described this rock system? So the Vindhyan rock system was described by Professor Parikh. Professor Parikh. Okay. So Professor Parikh described about the Vindhyan rock system, and the initial rock system Bundelkhand is described by which person? Professor Heron. Okay. So all these things I think you may have to know about it. Okay. Sringadjay, legend. Okay. You are a legend. You are talking about me? No. If you are talking about me and you are saying me legend, no, I am not a legend. I am just a common student. I am learning from life and try my best to fulfill your dream also. I am trying through the platform of Utkarsh by visionary approach of Mr. Nirmal sir, that he is trying to provide best student, and as a part of this family, it's my honor that I am part of this one, and I am trying my best to just provide you and just trying to fulfilling your dreams. Okay, that's okay. Now the second aspect is that in Rajasthan, what happened during Carboniferous? Now the question arises, Carboniferous, you might also heard about this word Carboniferous. We already mentioned you when we discuss about the Gondwana line. The formation of Pangaea is associated during the time period of Carboniferous. Carboniferous period. Okay, so now the question arises, when we discuss the geological time scale and we heard about the Carboniferous. So the Carboniferous in terms of world geography, we heard about the Pangea formation. Okay, but when we discuss about the Carboniferous in Indian context, so in Indian context, we also heard about a formation of coal, and this coal is also known as Gondwana rock system. Now the question arises, what is Gondwana rock system? So Gondwana rock system is a coal formation during the Carboniferous. Now question arises, Gondwana land or Gondwana rock system, both are the same one? No, both are the different one. Gondwana land is a landmass. It is the southern part of Pangea, and on this landmass there is a development of coal, and the development of coal is known as a Gondwana rock system. And when this Gondwana rock system was formed, it was formed during the Carboniferous. But the important section is that, important aspect is that Rajasthan is a part of Gondwana land, but in Rajasthan there is a lack of Gondwana rock system. This is the important aspect. Means there is a scarcity of coal deposition in Rajasthan, because the maximum Gondwana rock, means the coal deposition, are in Chota Nagpur region. They belong basically to the Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. So maximum Gondwana rock system or the coal deposition around, there some of the studies says that around 98% of India's coal deposition associated with the Gondwana rock system, and they accumulated in specifically in Chota Nagpur region. Okay, now question also arises, if we discussing about the Carboniferous period and we are just learning it in terms of world, so Carboniferous famous for in terms of world in a form of Pangea, development of Pangea, and the Carboniferous period is famous in Indian context in a formation of coal, specifically Gondwana rock system. But the question says that we are discussing about Rajasthan. So is there any significance of Carboniferous in Rajasthan? Yeah, definitely there is a significance in Rajasthan, because in Rajasthan Bap boulder and Bhadura rock system, Bap boulder and Bhadura. And where this Bap boulder and Bhadura rock system found? It found in Jodhpur. They associated with this Carboniferous period. Okay, so it means when we watch, when we look or just glimpse the geological map of Rajasthan, so what we just learn about? We learn about that the Aravalli initially is a form of Archean, then it converted into Dharwad, then it converted in Kudappa, and later on it was eroded and sedimented in a form of Vindhyan. The Vindhyan rock system not only found in the central part of Aravalli, but it also Vindhyan rock system found in the eastern and western part, from Dholpur to Chittor, from Nagaur to Birmania. And limestone, sandstone, both are associated with the Vindhyan rock system. Okay, after Vindhyan, development of Vindhyan rock system, during Carboniferous, there is a development of Bap boulder and Bhadura pebble boulder formation conglomeration in Rajasthan, specifically in western part of Rajasthan. At that time, Rajasthan was not at the same place where it is right now. At that time, during Carboniferous, Rajasthan was somewhere in the southern part of Pangea, just near about the southern polar region. So at that time, when the Rajasthan during Carboniferous situated in the southern part of the southern hemisphere, due to the accumulation of pebble and boulder through glacial and oceanic water deposition, all these things were developed during the Carboniferous in the name of Bap boulder and Bhadura. Okay, so this development of Bap boulder and Bhadura associated with Carboniferous, even later on in during Permian also. So all these things are associated with various time period of geological time scale. Even all these time period are associated with era of Paleozoic. Even you have to watch it and you have to be carefully listen it. This Paleozoic was asked in RAS means examination, and they ask you about the development of Paleozoic, and most of the students have described it in a world manner. Specifically, they describe the life development in Paleozoic, means when the reptiles were formed, when the first fish, frog and all the living creature have been evolved during this time period. But they haven't mentioned the geological development or the structural development of Rajasthan in that particular Paleozoic time period. If they mention the various rock formation and the minerals development in Rajasthan, or they just mentioned about the Bab boulder or Vindhyan rock system, Kudappa rock system, then the answer will have to be enhanced. Okay, so examiner haven't said that, you only mentioned one thing. They ask you about the various features and you are open to write it. If you are open to write it, it means you can mention it more and more aspect, but try to write more aspect specifically related to the Rajasthan section. Okay, you got it my point? I think you all are getting my point. Okay, now another aspect, another section says that this geological aspect, this development aspect haven't stopped here. It also moves in other section. Okay, the next era of geological time says that the time is known as a Mesozoic era. Which era? Mesozoic. Okay, so what we found in Mesozoic and what evolution we have noticed in Mesozoic. So I have just note down it, write it in this manner. So in Mesozoic, so first thing is, what was the time duration? The time duration was 240 million year back to around 65 million year back. Okay, so there are three period of this Mesozoic. So what are the three Mesozoic period? So there are three Mesozoic period. The first one is known as a Triassic. The second one is Jurassic, and the third one is Cretaceous. And the specific time period of Triassic is 240 million to 200 million. Okay, in between 240 to 200, and the Jurassic is 200 million to 140 million, and from 140 to 65 million. These three sections have been subdivided. Okay, now the question says that what is the significance of Triassic? Triassic is important because during Triassic period, this Pangea supercontinent bifurcated into two sections, Laurentia and Gondwana land. So the bifurcation of this Laurentia and Gondwana land initiated in the time period of Tertiary. That's the only thing we have to learn about it. Now, another period which says Jurassic, it is important one. Why it is important one? The first thing is, during Jurassic period we know about the big creature of dinosaur. So it is the age of dinosaur, as you know about the Jurassic. But in terms of Rajasthan, Jurassic period is also important. The second aspect is says that during Jurassic period, there is a village in western Rajasthan, specifically in Jaisalmer. The village name is Kuldhara. Some says that it is a haunted village because it was settled by or dwelled by the Paliwal Brahmins, and they all the dwelling people or the residing people in Kuldhara, they just go away from that particular region. So that's why some mysteries, some kind of rumors also going on in that particular region, that this is not a suitable place for living. So that's why Kuldhara is also famous one. But the important aspect is Kuldhara is that there is evidence of dinosaur egg. So there is evidence of dinosaur egg, and in a recent examination, in some 1 to 3 months back, an examiner asked you about it. In which village we found the evidence of dinosaur egg? So in Kuldhara village in Jaisalmer we found a evidence of dinosaur egg. Okay, now another aspect which is associated with this Jurassic, and the third aspect which is associated with Jurassic is point number C, which says that Akalwood Fossil Park. So in Jaisalmer there is a Akalwood Fossil Park. At that time vegetation was subducted and they converted into a fossils rock system. So these fossil rock system or the vegetational fossil system found in the Akal village in Jaisalmer, and they also belong to the Jurassic time period. Okay, so it is also one. But in a recent news, around 16.5 million, not million, 16.5 crore, around 165 million year back, around point number 4, 165 million year back, there is a strike of meteor. There is a strike of meteor in Bara district, and in this Bara district there is a creation of Ramgarh crater. So in a recent news you heard about the Ramgarh crater, and this Ramgarh crater also associated during the Jurassic. So during Jurassic time period there is a meteor strike in the Bara, and the Ramgarh crater was formed, and the time period of this crater formation was associated with 165 million year back. Rahul ji, okay, thanks for coming on this platform. You are a Hindi medium student and you are in the English medium section, and you have from a particular section SST. So it's a really a pleasure for me to describe you all these things, but it's a really honor if you are come on this platform. We are trying to giving our best specifically for the English medium student, and if your friends are willingly to learn from English medium, then this is the right platform. Please subscribe it and please mention it to just subscribe this channel so that we can provide more and more material for those students. Okay, तो अपने दोस्तों को बताइए, मैं हिंदी में भी बोल देता हूँ, अपने दोस्तों को बताइए कि उत्कर्ष के अंदर इंग्लिश में भी पढ़ाया जाता है, थ्रू आउट इंग्लिश के अंदर भी पढ़ाया जाता है. इफ यू आर रियली इंग्लिश मीडियम स्टूडेंट एंड यू लर्न इन इंग्लिश सेक्शंस, एंड डेफिनेटली we are able and we will describe you each and every aspect with factual knowledge and conceptual knowledge. Okay, even we have to mention all these things, and we will provide in a PDF mode. All these matter we will provide in PDF through Telegram channel also. सर समझ में नहीं आ रहा, थोड़ी हिंदी में बता दो. अच्छा, एक है ना AI की तरह वो कर लिया करो, इंग्लिश के साथ साथ वो हिंदी के अंदर चलता रहे, जिसके अंदर हम जो भी बोलते रहे ना वो सब का सब आपके पास क्या है आ जाए, है ना. तो ऐसा है. तो बस राहुल जी आपके थ्रू मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा. बाकी आप सभी साथियों के अगर कोई इंग्लिश मीडियम का हो तो उसको कहिएगा कि उत्कर्ष पे पूरी एक डेडिकेटेड टीम है जो आपको इंग्लिश में भी क्या करा सकती है, अध्ययन करा सकती है. ठीक है, और आप आए, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, बहुत अच्छा. आपके साथियों को भी बताइए ये सब चीज़ें. ऑफलाइन में तो हम आपसे मिलते रहते ही हैं, पर आपको एक लगा होगा कि सर आप इंग्लिश में ऐसे पट 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 बोल देते हो, है ना. बिल्कुल. वेरी गुड इवनिंग पूनम जी, वेलकम ऑन दिस प्लेटफॉर्म, एंड रियली इट्स एन ऑनर फॉर मी that you are on this platform, and we are trying our best to describe. Specifically we are trying to deliver more and more contents in English medium, specifically those are willingly to write an English examination RS in English medium, because it is a dire need, specifically student in eastern and western part of Rajasthan. They are trying to get some platform where they will get the maximum material in English medium. So we are trying to just deliver all these things through this channel, through YouTube English medium channel. And if you have a good contact base, so just provide all these and videos to your friends one, so then they will subscribe it and they will like it. And if you like, and if you want to comment us, if you want to improve in our section, just please write it after this completion of video. We will definitely work on it and we will improve it. And if you have any demand about that particular topic that you want to learn it, and you have to learn about that particular topic, and you have a limited sources, then definitely we will work on it, whether it is associated with the geographical section or any other kind of section, yoga, law section, or any kind of section in which you have to find yourself in a reluctant situation where you haven't appropriate material to how to study it, then definitely you will comment on it and we will definitely work on it. Okay, राहुल जी बिल्कुल कोशिश कीजिएगा बताने का, है ना आपके साथियों को, क्योंकि डेफिनेटली हम इस पे क्या करेंगे, वर्क करेंगे. सो इन टुडे सेक्शन व्हाट वी हैव लर्न अबाउट इट, वी हैव टू लर्न अबाउट द जियोलॉजिकल एस्पेक्ट. Okay, so we have learned about that the geological section through which Rajasthan was evolved. So through which process, through in which time period Rajasthan have been evolved, we have been learned about it, and in Paleozoic time period, in Mesozoic time period. Okay, so but the Mesozoic time period is also important in terms of lava plateau section, because in Mesozoic the Jurassic time period formation, as you know that in world order it is famous for age of dinosaur, but in Jurassic period the Kuldhara village in Jaisalmer district famous for the evidence of dinosaur eggs. Even in Jurassic period the Akalwood fossil park was also evolved, and in during Jurassic another aspect is that there is a strike of meteor in the Bara district and the formation of Ramgarh crater, which is around 165 million years back, and this aspect was asked by the examiner in a recently conducted examination. I haven't heard about it, about the actual of which examination it was asked about. Might be in college lecturer, or it might be in a Sanganak type of examination. This question was asked about it. Okay, but another aspect is said the Cretaceous period. It is important one, because it is the Cretaceous period in which the Indian peninsula was separated from the eastern part of Africa, and due to this separation, due to this diversion, there is a fissure development on the earth's surface, and through this fissure the magma was outpoured on the earth's surface, and the magma outpoured on the earth's surface formed in a form of basaltic lava. Means the all the development which was formed during the previous time period, they was just outpoured by the lava. Means the lava formation, the basaltic lava which we know generally as the Deccan lava plateau, which is in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, in Rajasthan, or in Gujarat also. So this lava formation, this basaltic rock formation, which is clearly visible in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, and southeastern part of Rajasthan, and in Gujarat also. This formation was associated with the Cretaceous time period or the era of Mesozoic. Okay, due to this lava formation, due to this basaltic formation, this is lava formation or basalt rock formation, also create development of black soil. Okay, as you heard about that, is a regur soil or the vertisol soil found in the southeastern part of Rajasthan in Hadoti region. Okay, Popatlalji says that, sir, please start Rajasthan GK batch in English medium, sir. Please, it is a humble request from my side. Please let Utkarsh management know about this. Yeah, definitely, Popatlalji. We will definitely working on it, and through this YouTube channel we are trying to describe you various aspects of Rajasthan geography, and as in an optional or not optional, as in a regular course base, there is a still courses going in Utkarsh. You just contact to the management team, they will provide you the right answer. Okay, but through YouTube channel I'll promise you I'll come time to time and describe you about the various geographical aspect through this channel, and I'll try my best to describe you in a factual manner, and I'll try to describe you along with factual with concept also. what is the conceptual section and what is the factual aspect associated in Rajasthan. I'll try my best to convince you. Okay, then okay, now the aspect is that कि Cretaceous क्यों फेमस है? Cretaceous इसलिए फेमस है क्योंकि इंडियन पेनिनसुला अफ्रीका से सेपरेट हुआ और अफ्रीका से सेपरेट होने के बाद यहाँ पर वॉल्केनिक इरप्शन की वजह से लावा फॉर्मेशन हुआ, बेसाल्टिक रॉक फॉर्मेशन हुआ, एंड दिस बेसाल्टिक रॉक फॉर्मेशन लेटर ऑन कन्वर्टेड इनटू ब्लैक सॉइल. तो जो हाड़ौती रीजन में ब्लैक सॉइल है ना, वो ब्लैक सॉइल इज ए रिजल्ट ऑफ denudation process on the basaltic rock system. Okay, and on this denudation rock system, basaltic rock system के कारण ही हमारे ब्लैक सॉइल है. तो अब आपसे जैसे क्वेश्चन पूछे कि राजस्थान में ब्लैक सॉइल कब की है, बेसाल्ट रॉक कब का है और कहाँ है, तो आप बताओगे कि हाड़ौती रीजन. उससे पहले क्या है, उससे पहले वेस्टर्न राजस्थान में ये सारी चीज़ें, ईस्टर्न में रामगढ़ क्रेटर है जुरासिक का. उससे पहले क्या है, उससे पहले आपको बताना पड़ेगा कि कार्बोनिफेरस पर्मियन में बाप बोल्डर भादुरा है. उससे पहले राजस्थान में विंध्यन है, उससे पहले कुड़प्पा है, उससे पहले धारवाड़, और सबसे इनिशियल कौन सा है, आर्कियन है. सो अरावली जस्ट सेज दैट अरावली इट्स अ शेप, वी हैव जस्ट ओनली नेम, बट इट हैव ए लॉट्स ऑफ एस्पेक्ट. इनिशियली इट इज आर्कियन रॉक सिस्टम. ठीक है, तो और ये सारी चीज़ें. बट मज़ेदार पिक्चर का पार्ट क्या है पता है, मज़ेदार पिक्चर का पार्ट ये कि ये जो सारी चीज़ें मैंने आपको बताई ना, ये सारी चीज़ें गोंडवाना लैंड के रूप में ही आपको क्या करनी पड़नी. बट आपको ये पता है ये गोंडवाना लैंड क्या करेगा, ये गोंडवाना लैंड जाएगा स्ट्राइक करेगा अंगारा लैंड से, एंड ड्यू टू दिस कन्वर्जन देयर इज ए फॉर्मेशन ऑफ हिमालय. बट ऑन द रिमेन्स ऑफ टेथिस सी देयर आर ईस्टर्न एंड वेस्टर्न पार्ट डेवलपमेंट इन राजस्थान आल्सो. ओके, तो यहाँ तक जैसे अपन इंडियन पेनिनसुला को अफ्रीका से सेपरेट करते हैं, वहाँ तक का अपन ने क्या समझ लिया. बट जब हम ऊपर की तरफ जाते हैं, नॉर्दर्न की तरफ जाते हैं, तब जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल का नेक्स्ट सेक्शन शुरू हो जाता है आफ्टर 65 मिलियन ईयर बैक, एंड दिस सेक्शन इज नोन एज सेनोजॉइक. और सेनोजॉइक का जो पार्ट है देन वो क्या कहता है, देन लेट्स राइट इट इन बोर्ड, सेनोजॉइक. और सेनोजॉइक के साथ ही इसका पीरियड कौन सा है, तो यहाँ अपन मेंशन कर लेते हैं सेनोजॉइक. सेनोजॉइक, ठीक है. अभी इसका टर्शरी पार्ट है. ओके, और टर्शरी के साथ कौन सा है, क्वाटरनरी. क्वाटरनरी. ओके, सो टाइम ड्यूरेशन क्या है इसका, 65 मिलियन ईयर से प्रेजेंट टाइम. प्रेजेंट टाइम, ठीक है. अब टर्शरी क्यों फेमस है, टर्शरी इज फेमस फॉर द कोलिशन ऑफ टू प्लेट्स, गोंडवाना लैंड एंड अंगारा लैंड, एंड ड्यू टू दिस कन्वर्जन देयर इज ए फॉर्मेशन ऑफ हिमालय. सो लिटरली द टर्शरी इज फेमस फॉर द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ हिमालय, डेवलपमेंट ऑफ हिमालय. बट वी आर डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द राजस्थान, एंड इन राजस्थान what was developed during tertiary period. So tertiary period in Rajasthan is specifically for the development of lignite coal. Which one, lignite. So coal also found in Rajasthan, but it is in form of lignite. It is not found in a Gondwana rocks. Anthracite नहीं मिलता हमारे. We found which type of coal, we found lignite coal, and specifically in which part of Rajasthan, in the western part of Rajasthan. In the western part of Rajasthan, in districts of Bikaner, Nagaur and Bardmer, we found lignite coal. And when this lignite coal was formed, it formed during the tertiary period. And tertiary is famous for specifically the development of Himalayas. Okay, got it? But when the time changes, okay, might be there is a thought going on in your mind, what is the exact time period of tertiary? The exact time period of tertiary is 65 million to 2 million. This is the exact time. Okay, and during tertiary the Indian plate collided with Eurasian plate, or in other word we says that the Indian peninsula or the Gondwana land collided with Angara land, and on the remains of Tethys Sea, on the accumulation of sediments in Tethys Sea, the Himalaya was formed. At that time, due to the subduction of vegetation, there is a formation of lignite in the western part of Rajasthan. Okay, now the another aspect is what was developed during Quaternary. Quaternary is subsection of Cenozoic, or we can say the period of Cenozoic. So Quaternary is famous because there is a epoch, means another subsection of Quaternary, and the subsection is known as Pleistocene. Pleistocene, you might heard about this name, Pleistocene. Okay, so during Pleistocene, what was happened in Rajasthan? So during Pleistocene, in the western part of Rajasthan, in which part of Rajasthan? Western part of Rajasthan, there is a river came, and this river is known as a Saraswati river. You might heard about the Vedic flown river Saraswati, right? Present time it is a dead river in the name of Ghaggar. So on this western part of Rajasthan, when the sea just retreated, the Tethys Sea was retreated from this western part of Rajasthan, a big amount of water came in western part of Rajasthan on the remains of Tethys Sea, and they formed a alluvial tract in western part of Rajasthan. And this alluvial tract also create Lathi series, gypsum formation, and they also create shale formation in western part of Rajasthan, in which we found the deposits of petroleum and gas. So all these things develop in which time period? In Pleistocene. So as you heard about that Lathi series, you heard about shale, rock, petroleum, petrol and gas formation. Petrol basin also found in western part of Rajasthan, specifically in Bardmer and Jaisalmer region. You may heard about the Mangla, the first oil well of Rajasthan. Even in present time, Rajasthan having 4 petroleum basins, and through these 4 petroleum basin, the Bardmer Sanchor basin produces per day 98,000 to 1 lakh barrel oil per day, and through this production we are in a second position in India after Bombay High. Okay, then during Pleistocene we also found a development of desert, because the Saraswati river just changes its course, and when the Saraswati river changes its course, this landmass western part of Rajasthan was converted into desert by winds. Okay, even in present time, whenever a flood occur in the rivers, there is a formation of alluvial tract. So this alluvial tract is the latest development in Rajasthan, and in present time it is developing. Like there is a 2023, there is a flood occurred in Ghaggar. So alluvial tract was formed. So alluvial tract formation, desert formation, petroleum formation, Lathi series, lignite coal formation, and then basalt lava during Cretaceous period, Jurassic period, Akal wood, Kuldhara, and formation of Ramgarh crater. Even if we study about the Carboniferous Permian period, the Bab boulder Bhadura formation. In India, the Gondwana rock system in Choda Nagpur region, even before Vindhyan, Kodappa, Dharwad, Arkan, all these sequential chronological development have to be discussed in the first section of our physiography, and all the aspect which we have learned today comes under the category of geology, which is a part of physiography. And I think you might be thinking about that, sir, all these things are important one and vital one, because you have heard about it, but today's session you have learned about it, from which time period they have been evolved and from which part of Rajasthan they have been associated. So I think right now it is time to wind up all these things. I think you like all these things, because I have been continuously talking from 7 to 10, and it's a really very pleasure for me that some of you have been associated for a longer period of time, and you have given your precious time on this YouTube channel. So it is my pleasure, it is really heartwarming for me that you have just given your valuable time, and I am trying my best to provide and just give you quality aspect, concept, based aspect, factual based aspect, so that you can fulfill your dreams. So right now I am just winding all things, and I'll also urge you to just please like, subscribe and share all this channel, so that we will provide you more and more, and we will reach more English medium students, so that they haven't thought that the RS is difficult for English one. Definitely, if you are willing, whether you are associated, whether your language is Hindi or English, it doesn't matter. If you are thinking you are to become an RS officer, then Utkarsh Parivar is always with you, and definitely we will work for you. And I'll come up with a new topic in upcoming days, and definitely we will work on it. If you have any suggestion, comment it, you just write it, we will definitely work on it. ठीक है? अरे सर ये क्या कर रहे हो आप, इंग्लिश मीडियम बैच में हिंदी में बोलते हैं, इंग्लिश में लिखाते हैं, बाइलिंगुअल होता देन डेफिनेटली हाँ, ये क्या प्रोसेस है? नहीं, बिल्कुल डेफिनेटली इट इज़ द राइट प्रोसेस, इट इज़ द राइट प्रोसेस. इफ़ यू आर इन ए English medium batch, then we will try to learn it. If you are comfortable, if you are getting my point, you are understanding all what I am saying, that then I will reveal it in English medium. But if you are not comfortable, then I will speak in Hindi. मैं हिंदी में भी बोल सकता हूँ पर अच्छा लगा आप सब आए, बहुत अच्छा लगा आपने समय दिया, धन्यवाद. फिर मुलाकात करते हैं एक नए सत्र में. नमस्कार, जय हिंद, जय भारत.